Chapter 152. Roughly, Tianyun already knows the ins and outs of the situation. He knows why they are moving so fast. It turns out that there are disciples nearby. In that case, there is no other way. For these reasons, in just a short period of 1 month, they have already killed their way to heaven's immersing ancient ruins. This means that they have begun to destroy heaven's immersing ancient ruins, otherwise how can they swallow this humiliation? Very well, I am very satisfied with your answer, you can go. Tianyun threw him to the side, indicating that he can leave. After the disciple was put down, he trembled and walked a few steps forward, then looked back, and hurriedly fled. The other companions nodded and quickly retreated as well. Just after a few steps, the black dragon stepped on them, and spewed out a hot flame, burning them to ashes. Screams continued to come, and then there is no breath. This. The disciple who just wanted to leave, saw his companion was burned to ashes, his eyes showed fear. It's okay, you can go, but they can't. Tianyun's expression is indifferent, and immediately said to the other disciples of Jade Palace, everyone, if you want to kill him, then do it, otherwise he will slip away. At this time, they quickly caught up with him. Tianyun promised not to kill him, but it doesn't mean they can't kill him. You broke your promise. The disciple screamed, but he was still killed by the disciples of Jade Palace. After killing this disciple, their pretty face became red, not because of excitement, but more because of hatred. It's not that they are ruthless, but these people are too cruel. Every move they make is to kill, their eyes are full of filth. Needless to say, after being captured, they know what they will do to them. Keeping promises is for people, not beasts. Tianyun's eyes are cold, immediately came in front of Great Elder, took out a pill and put it in her mouth, let her recover quickly. Great Elder, thank you for your hard work. Tianyun said in a low voice, where are the palace mistress and the others? You're finally back. Palace Master and the others are fine, they're all in the heavens immersing ancient ruins. We've been out for a few days now, I believe it's as the disciple said, we've been surrounded. If this continues, I'm afraid the heavens immersing ancient ruins won't be able to hold on any longer. The Great Elder coughed a few times, his face slightly regained some color. And, don't worry, leave that side to me. As long as there is no core transformation stage cultivator, I can suppress them. Tianyun's eyes were filled with coldness. With the 8 times, crazy mode, it was enough for him to go crazy. Is this really possible? The Great Elder's eyes were filled with surprise. As long as the opponent wasn't a core transformation stage cultivator, he would be able to suppress them. No problem. Tianyun smiled and came to Zhu Yue, your sister asked me to tell you not to go back, it's the Zhu family that let you down. In an instant, Zhu Yue's tears gushed out, she grabbed Tianyun's arm and said with a trembling voice, sister really said that? Yes. She also said that she was the one who helped you escape. Tianyun asked. Yes, it was sister who asked me to escape. I didn't want to leave at that time, I wanted to be like sister, willing to sacrifice myself for the Star Pavilion. Sister also lied to me, saying that in the future, there will be no problem, I don't have to suffer. But now, she told me not to go back. Her tears were getting more and more, her voice became sobbing. Tianyun was startled after listening to this, so this is the truth. He thought that Zhu Yue was so bold, but it turns out that she was already prepared to sacrifice herself to strengthen the Zhu family. In fact, Zhu Yuxuan told her to escape, lying to her that things will get better in the future, otherwise Zhu Yue really wouldn't have escaped. It's okay, after everything is done, we'll go back together to see the situation. Tianyun said indifferently, they originally wanted to marry you to Qing Xian Mansion, if I destroy Qing Xian Mansion, let's see who else will dare to make trouble for. In his heart, he has already regarded Zhu Yue as one of his own, the desperate action just now has gained his trust. Zhu Yue herself is a very principled person, as long as someone helped her, she will go through fire and water, she will help them. Zhu Yue nodded, her beautiful eyes flashed with a glimmer of hope. Sister is working too hard, she has to bear everything, I can see that, she really worked hard for you. Yi Tianyun sighed deeply, he misunderstood at that time, but now it seems that the misunderstanding is really deep. After a few simple words, Yi Tianyun said, you guys find a place to hide, I'll go to the heavens immersing ancient ruins, leave the rest to me. They know that they can't help Yi Tianyun, they will only be a burden, so they can only find a place to hide. Then be careful. You must put your own safety first. I believe that even if Jade Palace perishes this time, but with your existence, it will definitely rise again. Great Elder's eyes flashed, she believes that Yi Tianyun can lead Jade Palace to glory. It's not just her, even all the disciples of Jade Palace think so. They feel that Yi Tianyun can lead them to glory, so they will never surrender, never give up. Jade Palace will not perish, not this time, not in the future. Yi Tianyun smiled indifferently, sat on the black dragon, and flew away. They looked at the figure disappearing into the sky, and their hearts are full of hope. After a while, Yi Tianyun's cultivation has been greatly enhanced, and he also has a black dragon. Under his leadership, how can Jade Palace become weak? Young Master Yi, be careful. Zhu Yue looked at his back, tightly holding the jade pendant in her hand. She didn't expect Yi Tianyun to see her sister. After Yi Tianyun left, he quickly began to fly to the heavens immersing ancient ruins, which is not far from here, and with the speed of the black dragon, he will arrive soon. When he was ready to approach, he quickly fell from the air and disappeared into the forest. He is not in a hurry to kill them immediately, he secretly observed the situation from behind, and then choose a sneak attack. Everything must be done cautiously, after all, the other party is coming out in full force, it is obviously not rational to kill them alone. First, he needs to see the situation clearly, and then make a plan. Moreover, a surprise attack was a great bargaining chip. Hence, as soon as he landed, he immediately activated his stealth skill. His figure blended into the forest, and his eyes shone with a bright light. Chapter 153. Yi Tianyun quickly approached the gate of heavens immersing ancient ruins. As he gets closer, he can feel the powerful aura in front of him. Boom! A loud noise came. It seems that a terrifying power suddenly burst out, the sound is deafening, the ground is slightly shaking, it is enough to show that the power is quite amazing. Yi Tianyun frowned, he quickened his pace to get closer, the closer he gets, the more he feels the terrifying power. It seems that in order to break into heavens immersing ancient ruins, they used some special method. When he got closer, he immediately saw a group of people at the gate of heavens immersing ancient ruins, and the number is not small. So many spirit core realm experts. Yi Tianyun frowned when he saw the situation in front of him. 8 spirit core realm experts stood in front of the gate of heavens immersing ancient ruins, once again gathering terrifying energy, ready to bombard the stone gate. Their cultivation range from 2nd level Spirit Core Realm to 8th level Spirit Core Realm, the strongest among them must be the Mansion Lord of Qing Xian Mansion. The Mansion Lord of Qing Xian Mansion came in person, this treatment is really good, obviously he is completely enraged. Behind him are Core Condensation Realm experts, the number is as high as 30. The lowest level is Spirit Refinement Realm cultivators, the number is as high as 100. More than a dozen Spirit Core Realm experts, more than 30 Core Condensation Realm experts, and hundreds of Spirit Refinement Realm cultivators. This is a number that no sect in the Earth border continent can reach, this is the power of Qing Xian Mansion. The most important thing is that for Jade Palace, they actually sent out all of their forces, isn't this a bit too much? This is equivalent to killing a chicken with a butcher's knife, it is too much. It seems that this gate can't hold for long. Yi Tianyun saw that the gate is in a terrible state, but the gate is still strong. He doesn't know how long this stone gate can withstand the bombardment of so many Spirit Core Realm experts. The mark engraved on it is still clearly visible, faintly glowing with a faint golden light, strong enough to withstand so many terrifying bombardment. He can't help but admire the strength of Spirit King Xian Tian's formation. But no matter how strong it was, it couldn't withstand a prolonged bombardment. With so many Spirit Core stage powerhouses taking turns, after the Spirit Core stage powerhouses finish, it will be the Core Condensation stage powerhouses' turn. They don't believe that with this kind of attack, they won't be able to break the door. Prepare for the next round of attacks. A middle-aged man said coldly. He was the mansion master of Qing Xian Mansion, Qing Tianxian, and he had the highest cultivation among them. I don't believe that this door can last long. Qing Tianxian sneered, you killed our elder and hid in the heavens immersing ancient ruins, do you think we can't do anything to you? He could use this opportunity to deal a heavy blow to the forces of the Earth Boundary Continent. Originally, I didn't dare to come here because of the rules. Now, you've given me a very good excuse. There was a set of rules in the Heavenly Boundary Continent, and that was that no one could invade the Earthly Boundary Continent at will. After all, the gap between the two continents was too big, so they couldn't invade at will. This could easily lead to a great calamity, which was something they did not wish to see. But they can send people over and let one or two forces become their puppets, which can also play a role in ruling. This rule is actually a decoration, a little excuse can be broken. Now this is the case, saying that Jade Palace challenged the majesty of Qing Xian Mansion, killed their elder, and used this as an excuse to kill them. And use this opportunity to deal a heavy blow to the surrounding forces. The forces of the Heavenly Boundary Continent knew what Qing Xian Mansion was thinking, but they didn't say anything. As long as it has nothing to do with them, they don't care. The death of an elder is very distressing, but compared to finding an excuse to invade their territory at will, this elder's death is worth it. Rumble. At this time, the stone door slowly opened. Qing Tianxian raised his hand, motioning them not to attack, squinted at the stone door that was slowly opened. His eyes were like a poisonous snake, entangled in front of the door. The stone door just opened a gap, and a few figures came out from inside. Ant. Yi Tianyun trembled slightly when he saw the person who came out first. Shi Shuiyun came out with a long sword in her hand. Her original white clothes were already stained with blood, and her face was pale and terrible. It was obvious that she had experienced a great battle, and she suffered a lot of injuries. Seeing Shi Shuiyun coming out of the stone door, her pale face made his heart tremble. He didn't expect that after a few days, the former glorious Shi Shuiyun became like this. From the fluctuations of her aura, Yi Tianyun clearly felt that her aura is very weak, she must have suffered a lot of injuries. This made him very angry, and he can't wait to kill these bastards. You've been hiding in there for a long time, finally willing to come out? I thought you would never come out. Qing Tianxian said solemnly, Palace Lord Shi, you killed our elder, I can let it go, but you have to hand over the murderer to me, plus you marry me, then I can let the matter of Jade Palace go. I can let it go. Of course, Jade Palace must become our subsidiary sect of Qing Xian Mansion. Until now, he is still obsessed with letting Shi Shuiyun marry him. His eyes looking at Shi Shuiyun are filled with a bit of possessiveness. As long as it's a genius female cultivator, he wants to possess her. That kind of desire to conquer is something he enjoys very much. Shi Shuiyun was silent. After glancing at everyone, she said, I will go with you, you let Jade Palace go. I said, you also need to hand over the murderer, so that we can meet the conditions. Qing Tianxian said coldly, now is not the time to negotiate with me, do you think you can rely on this broken ancient ruins to resist our attack? In a few days, this door will be broken by us, and then you will be at our mercy. At that time, it won't be as simple as becoming a subsidiary sect, you have to think about it clearly. They have an absolute advantage, talking about conditions is the behavior of a fool. Only when the strength is similar, there will be conditions to negotiate. Once the balance is broken, all conditions and rules are bullshit. If that's the case, then die. Shi Shuiyun's beautiful eyes flashed with a cold light, suddenly holding a sword in front of her, her momentum suddenly skyrocketed, the cultivation of spirit core broke out, wherever she went, cold air spread, freezing a large area. Stay here and don't move. Before leaving, Shi Shuyan said. Palace Lord, don't go, they are too strong. Heir Changyun shouted anxiously. There are so many strong cultivators in front of her, if Shi Shuyan chased after them, she will be surrounded, at that time it will be really difficult to escape. But Shi Shuyan's white clothes fluttered, she turned a deaf ear and rushed forward, her face is extremely cold, the temperature around her dropped a lot because of the cold air she released. Chapter 154. Qing Tianxian smiled when he saw Shi Shuyan rushing out. He was afraid that Shi Shuyan would not come out. What an idiot! I didn't expect you to come out. Catch her. Remember, don't kill her. Qing Tianxian sneered. The spirit core stage cultivators in front of them were already prepared. They rushed forward and surrounded Shi Shuyan. Terrifying spiritual energy erupted from their bodies, forming into a net of light that enveloped the area they were in. This is a trap. The palace lord is in danger. The second elder was anxious and wanted to help, but he was stopped by the third elder. Don't go out, the palace lord just told us to stay here. The third elder was also anxious, but he chose to believe in Shi Shuyan. The other old ancestors were standing behind them, watching the situation. They were ready to burst out their strongest power. In fact, no matter how much they burst out their power, it would be meaningless. They have made some progress in this period of time, but it was still limited. In the face of so many spirit core stage cultivators, they couldn't attack at all. She's going to unleash her latent power and go all out. The old ancestor beside him said in a low voice. If she does this, her lifespan will be shortened, but there is no other way. As long as we can stall for time, the heavens immersing ancient ruins can recover. Yes, she forcibly increased her cultivation, which is already reducing her blood qi, otherwise she would not be able to compete with them. Shi Shuyan was not a fool. She took the risk to come out to let the heavens immersing ancient ruins have a chance to recover. If she kept being attacked like crazy, she would not be able to withstand it. So she could only come out and continue to attack to buy more time. Do you think you can escape this time? Catch her. Qing Tianquan's eyes were cold, and his face was twisted. Get out of here. Shi Shuyan's face was flushed. She spat out a mouthful of blood, which dyed the entire blade red. The blood splashed back and left some plum blossoms on her white clothes. After spitting out this mouthful of blood, her aura instantly surged. She also took out the ice soul jade and completely fused with it. All of a sudden, her strength skyrocketed, and her cultivation was forcibly raised to level 2 of the spirit core stage. The cold attribute in the air suddenly gathered, and under her brandishing, the long sword in her hand seemed to be assimilated into a huge ice sword, and she waved it crazily. Under this crazy continuous slash, the net of light that surrounded them was actually forcibly cut apart. It even forced a few elders to retreat. Some of them were frozen after coming into contact with this attack. This destructive energy caused Qing Tianxian to frown. He did not expect Shi Shuyan to have such potential. The sudden eruption of power was so shocking, it was completely raised by several levels. But there is a price to pay. In order to use a more powerful killer move, she must consume the blood essence in her body. If she consumes too much, her cultivation will decline, and if it's serious, she will die. However, she did it without any hesitation. Apart from killing intent, there was no fear in her eyes. For the entire Jade Palace, she must do this, but there is no despair in her eyes, still full of hope, as if looking forward to something. In order to save Jade Palace, she forcibly raised her cultivation, which is a kind of taboo method. This is only a temporary improvement, but after that, it will lead to the side effect of the decline of cultivation. But no matter what the side effect is, she must use it, otherwise she will die. At this time, the elder who was sent flying cursed in his heart. This woman is too powerful, her cultivation is lower than them, but she can suppress them. This scene shocked everyone. Shi Xueyan's genius title is not just for show, the power brought by the limit is amazing. The power is terrifying, but Shi Xueyan has also reached the limit, her body has reached the limit, and now she forcibly used it, the consumption is even more amazing. Her face is as pale as paper, there is no trace of blood, and from the feeling of breath, it feels like the lamp is dried up, and it will go out at any time. Palace Lord, retreat. At this time, the elders rushed out, trying to cover her escape. Shi Xueyan gritted her teeth and flew back, but found that her body seems to be stuck in a swamp, she felt difficult to move. When she looked down, she found that she was already tied up by the net of light, and she was firmly stuck to it. Break! She waved the long sword in her hand, aimed at the light net, but she has no follow-up power, and slashed down heavily, but there is no effect. The net of light trapping her had completely trapped her. I said, it is impossible to escape this time. Qing Tianxian sneered. He raised his leg and moved closer. His speed was neither fast nor slow, but he gave off a strong sense of oppression. What is this situation? Suddenly someone screamed, attracting the attention of many people. They turned their heads to look, but all of them were shocked. Qing Tianxian turned his head back in dissatisfaction and said, "What the hell are you screaming for?" When he turned his head back to look, he was also shocked. The cultivators they brought unexpectedly fell down in large numbers, one by one, no one knows what happened. What the hell is going on? How can so many disciples die? Qing Tianxian was shocked. Many of the spirit refinement disciples and even the core condensation cultivators have fallen, everything is silent, many people do not know what happened. While they were distracted, a figure suddenly flashed past and silently arrived in front of Qing Tianxian. Then, a saber fiercely pierced over. A strong sense of crisis, from the heart of Qing Tianxian, a backhand to resist, but everything seems to be a bit too slow. The ferocious dagger pierced through his palm, as if piercing a layer of paper, easily pierced his palm. When the dagger was about to pierce through, suddenly a dazzling light burst out from his chest, instantly forming a thick shield, bouncing the person whose sneak attacked him. Bang! When the figure was bounced back, it turned in the air and rushed to the side of the spirit core stage cultivator. In the blink of an eye, the dagger in his hand was replaced by a long sword, fiercely slashed down. Boom! The whole person was easily split into two, the person did not even have the chance to scream, he was already dead, blood spurting out. When it completely fell, it has already stopped beside Shi Xueyan, waved the sword, and cut the light net that tied her up. "Aunt, I came back late." A familiar figure, a familiar voice, reflected in Shi Xueyan's eyes. Chapter 155. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Elder, gained 580,000. 000 EXP, 11,000 Crazy Point, gained Martial Art Netherworld Step, transforming Heaven Palm. Obtained Snake Slaying Sword, quintuple EXP card. Ding, congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for successfully breaking through to 5th level Spirit Core Realm. While everyone's attention was focused on Shi Xueyan, Yi Tianyun sneak attacked from behind. Using stealth and Scarlet Dagger, Yi Tianyun easily harvested everyone's life, coupled with the 8 times EXP card and 20 times EXP card, Yi Tianyun's EXP is increasing crazily. He even used 3 times Crazy Point card, so he can get 11,000 Crazy Point at once. He wanted to save Shi Xueyan before, but he knew that it's not the right time yet. The only thing he can do now is to eliminate all the disciples behind him, which will undoubtedly be a lot safer. But he was still discovered. If he wasn't discovered, at least all the core condensation cultivators would have been killed by him. But now it's already terrifying, more than 30 core condensation cultivators were easily harvested by him like cabbages. From more than 30 core condensation cultivators to more than a dozen, how can this be described as miserable? Now he even killed a Spirit Core Realm cultivator, which is even more terrifying. "You, who are you?" Qing Tianxian and the others were shocked. How can a super strong cultivator suddenly appear out of nowhere, and the aura he exudes is not any weaker than them? If Qing Tianxian didn't have a top-grade magic weapon to protect himself, he would have been assassinated. Who am I? Am I not the one you mentioned that needs to be handed over? Yi Tianyun said as he stepped back, put Shi Shuyan down, and signaled her to go back to the heavens immersing ancient ruins. It's the safest place. You are the strong cultivator who killed Elder Wei. They were shocked. The young man in front of them is only about 17 or 18 years old, but he is already a spirit core realm cultivator. They suspected that he is an old monster. Yes, it's me. Yi Tianyun sneered. Your Qing Xian mansion is extremely overbearing. Do you think that the entire continent belongs to you? Want to control our Jade Palace, but also want to occupy all of our disciples? This calculation is really loud. You want to control our Jade Palace, and occupy all our disciples? This plan is really big. Yi Tianyun's return shocked everyone in Jade Palace. This terrifying aura let them know that Yi Tianyun's cultivation has skyrocketed again. Elder Yi is too powerful. Every time he goes out, his cultivation level increases by a lot. He seems to be at the spirit core stage. Elder Yi is late core condensation late stage. He was just a late stage core late stage, Saint stage, sect Xian realm, and spirit Yi Tian sect Yu Tian realm stage is his stage. Emperor and they heart. Not to mention them, even the old ancestors are shocked. Shi Shuyan's breakthrough to Spirit Core Realm is temporary, but Yi Tianyun really broke through to Spirit Core Realm, a cultivation that they can't touch. Impossible, you are so young. Which force do you belong to? Qing Tianxian is shocked and angry. So many of his disciples died, his heart is bleeding, it's really painful. Even if he wins this time, it will take a long time to recover. I am the elder of Jade Palace, I belong to Jade Palace. Yi Tianyun said coldly, today is the day you die, don't even think about escaping. In the next moment, he waved his hand and the black dragon descended from the sky and heavily pressed down on the remaining core condensation powerhouses. With a loud bang, many core condensation powerhouses were directly trampled to death or seriously injured by the huge body of the black dragon. Roar! The black dragon roared to the sky, releasing the dragon's might to the surrounding, shocking everyone. This is Black Dragon, Divine Beast. Qing Tianxian was shocked again. Shi Shuyan and the others are also shocked. Before it was Snow Wolf, now there is a black dragon. How did he get it? At this time, Snow Wolf ran out of the palace. At this time, it is already bruised. It seems to be seriously injured. If it continues to be like this, it will die. Woo woo. When Snow Wolf saw Yi Tianyun, it limped over and finally lay in his arms. Snow Wolf. Yi Tianyun's pupil shrank. He didn't expect his pet to be so seriously injured. He quickly gave it a pill and rubbed its head. You worked hard, take a good rest. When things are over, I will reward you. Woo woo. Snow Wolf nodded and squinted its eyes. It is seriously injured. If it wasn't for this Snow Wolf, we would have been captured. It blocked a lot of attacks for me. Because of it, we were able to protect the heavens immersing ancient ruins from falling. Shi Shuyan felt guilty. She reached out and touched its head. If it wasn't for the improvement in its cultivation, it really couldn't withstand so many attacks from spirit core cultivators. After all, even if it doesn't get close to Yi Tianyun, it can still gain experience. Now it is at level 2 of spirit core stage. It is quite amazing. Although its cultivation is good, it is still not as strong as Qing Xian Mansion, plus it needs to protect Shi Shuyan, so it can't attack with full force. Well, it is time to end this. Yi Tianyun is holding the Sword of Endlessness in his hand. It is shining with a strange light. This is a weapon he has never used before, because it is too overbearing. There is no need to use it to deal with weak opponents. But to deal with them, he is not stingy. He walked out step by step. Step by step, the black dragon is constantly destroying the ruins, attracting several spirit core cultivators to encircle it. The black dragon's cultivation is not as strong as them, but its skin is too thick. When it was attacked, it is only a little bit injured, but it can still hold on for a while. 5 times EXP card, use. Crazy 8 times damage mode, activate. His aura suddenly exploded, and his combat power increased crazily. He didn't use crazy damage mode before, because he wanted to hide his aura. Otherwise, Qing Tianxian wouldn't have been able to block that sword earlier. 200,000. 300,000. 600,000. 800,000. 900,000. 450,000. In the end, his combat power stopped at 2,450,000. Under the effect of 8 times damage mode, his combat power suddenly increased to 2,450,000, far surpassing Qing Tianxian. Qing Tianquan's combat power is also not low. Under the appraisal eye, there is no place to hide, 670,000. Indeed worthy of being a palace lord, combined with other treasures, his battle prowess is as high as 670,000. If his cultivation was still at core condensation stage, even if he burst out with 8x crazy mode, he still wouldn't be able to surpass Qing Tianxian. The higher the cultivation, the stronger the increase in combat power. For example, in his view, there is a difference of 20,000 to 30,000 between a 3rd level spirit core cultivator and a 4th level spirit core cultivator. But in the 4th level spirit core cultivator and the 5th level spirit core cultivator, the difference is 40,000 to 50,000. The higher the cultivation, the stronger the combat power, so it is not surprising that Qing Tianquan's combat power is so strong. If he does not use crazy mode, the difference of 3 levels between the two of them is a full 100,000 to 200,000 combat power. However, by relying on the 8x crazy mode, he was already far more powerful than him. Chapter 156. This is the first time Yi Tianyun has 2.45 million combat power, and he was shocked by it. This was the effect of multiplying by 8 times. His original battle power of more than 300,000 had increased by 8 times due to anger. With his battle power multiplied by 8 times, his battle power directly exploded to 2.45 million, directly crushing the opponent's battle power by 4 times. The simplest and most crude data comparison was so terrifying, completely crushing the mansion lord of the Qing Xian mansion. The strongest cultivator of the Qing Xian mansion was crushed by him. Who could stop him? If he hadn't upgraded crazy mode at that time, he could have easily defeated the mansion lord of the Qing Xian mansion with 4 times crazy mode. It was almost the same as he had expected. His cultivation had reached 4th level of spirit core stage. With the help of crazy mode, as long as the opponent was not a core transformation stage cultivator, he could basically defeat them. Now that he had 8 times crazy mode, he could kill anyone who came. If he continued to upgrade crazy mode, he could reach 16 times damage. That would be really heaven-defying. He couldn't imagine what kind of power he would have when he used crazy mode. At least for now, he felt like he had mastered all the power in the world and no one could resist his attack. Qing Xian Mansion, since you are so domineering, then I will be more domineering than you. Today, I will kill all of you, and next time, I will personally destroy your Qing Xian mansion. Yi Tianyun held the Endlessness sword and walked forward step by step. His terrifying aura made the other spirit core stage cultivators tremble. They had never seen such a powerful aura, it was far beyond their imagination. This is the cultivation of spirit core stage, no, this is the aura of core transformation stage. This is so young, but he is already a core transformation stage cultivator. Where did this monster come from? What should we do now? Run, run. They were trembling. If it wasn't for the mansion lord, they would have already run away. Qing Tianyun's face was gloomy. He didn't expect to meet such a strong cultivator. He didn't even need to fight to feel the difference in strength. This kind of difference could only be felt when facing a core transformation stage cultivator. Go! The next moment, Qing Tianxian turned around and fled without hesitation. His speed was faster than anyone else's. But while he was running, Yi Tianyun had already turned into a streak of light that streaked across the sky and caught up to one of the elders. Without any hesitation, Yi Tianyun brandished the sword of infinity in his hand and slashed at him. Damn it! The elder roared in anger. He didn't want to be hit by this sword. He turned around and swung his sword to block Yi Tianyun's attack. Clang! The moment the two swords collided, the sword of infinity flickered with a bright light. The burst of light instantly intensified, double damage mode activated. Boom! Originally, the damage dealt was already terrifying enough. Suddenly triggering this damage mode, it instantly exploded. That elder was directly blown away by this terrifying force, his body exploding in midair. He didn't even touch the person, he just touched the weapon. However, the contact between the weapons caused the power to explode instantly. The violent energy fluctuations were enough to kill the other party. Ding! Successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Elder. Reward, 680,000 EXP, 12,000 Crazy Point, 30 SPS. Obtained Martial Art Netherworld Step, Heavenly Star Fist. The weapons obtained are Flaming Blade and Gale Shoes. On the original basis, Yi Tianyun added 5 times EXP card, suddenly stacked up to 32 times EXP. Killing a strong cultivator can earn up to 680,000 EXP, which made Yi Tianyun shocked. If he can earn this much in the future, it will be perfect. Killing a Spirit Core stage powerhouse with one slash was as easy as chopping melons and vegetables, and there was no resistance at all. Yi Tianyun continued to chase crazily. The elders were scared and ran away faster than before. Although they knew that Yi Tianyun is very powerful, but when they fight, they found that he is even more terrifying. Whether they block or not, they will die. Want to run? Since you are here, don't even think about leaving. Yi Tianyun sneered and stepped on the ground. Boom! The violent force created a huge pit on the ground, accompanied by a terrifying force. In the next moment, he already caught up with another elder and stabbed him with Sword of Infinity. The elder roared and the armor on the surface of his body burst into dazzling light, forming a thick shield. However, all of this was a futile struggle. With a PUCI, the Infinite Sword did not even activate its damage multiplier mode. It easily pierced through the armor and stabbed his entire body. Die! Yi Tianyun dragged the elder back, the elder screamed and fell to the ground, blood flowed out of his body. Ding! Successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Elder. Reward, 700,000 EXP, 13,000 Crazy Point, 35 SPS, he had easily killed an elder just like that. This was the difference in strength. No matter how the elder tries to resist, it's futile. The increase in cultivation brings about terrifying power. It's not just a legend that a single person can slaughter an entire city. For someone as strong as Core Transformation Realm, it's not a problem for them to slaughter an entire city. The Black Dragon is also not willing to admit defeat, crazily trampling on the Core Condensation cultivators. All of them were killed by the Black Dragon. There are only a few elders and the Mansion Lord left in Qing Xian Mansion. Even if they can go back alive this time, Qing Xian Mansion is basically finished. It will take a lot of time to rebuild, and just looking at the strength of the elders, they can't even reach the level of the Mansion Lord. But will Yi Tianyun let them go back? He won't do something like letting a tiger return to the mountain. Too scary. Several elders screamed. They have never seen such a terrifying expert before. In the past, it's always them chasing others, but now it's someone else chasing them. It can be said that every dog has its day, it's their turn now. I said, don't even think about leaving. Yi Tianyun once again chased after them. They can't escape Yi Tianyun's pursuit, even if they scattered to escape, it's useless, his speed is too much faster than them. In the blink of an eye, he caught up with an elder, and then with a single slash, he killed one of them. Accompanied by a blood-curdling scream, another elder fell to the ground. Bastard! Qing Tianxian roared, but he doesn't dare to stop. His eyes are filled with endless killing intent and hatred. So many of his elders died here, how can he be reconciled? There are 3 more. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed. In front of him, there are only 2 elders and Qing Tianxian left. After killing them, everything will be over. When he was ready to catch up, suddenly, a red cloud floated in the sky in front of him. A soaring evil qi came from afar, suddenly giving him a strong sense of oppression. Old ancestor is here, old ancestor is here. Qing Tianxian shouted happily, their old ancestor finally came to help. Old ancestor. Yi Tianyun was startled, feeling the terrible evil qi. There is also a bloody smell, enough to see that the strong person who came must be a heaven-defying expert. He is afraid that his cultivation has reached the level of core transformation, so the pressure is too great. Chapter 157. Billowing evil qi came from a distance, instantly covering the entire area, terrifying pressure from the sky. Even Shi Shuayun and the others felt a bit of pressure. This power, is it core transformation realm? Shi Shuayun stood up with difficulty. She didn't rest for long, she almost crawled up, her beautiful eyes showed deep worry. It's core transformation realm powerhouse, only core transformation realm powerhouse can have such power. Jade Palace's old ancestor solemnly said, it's the old ancestor of Qing Xian Mansion, his cultivation is certainly not low. Rumor has it that Qing Xian Mansion has several core transformation realm powerhouses. After a moment, a crystal coffin flew from the air, and then fiercely fell from the air, like a meteorite, it fell on the ground. Boom! The ground was smashed by the hard crystal coffin, a deep pit was formed, thick evil qi floated out of the crystal coffin, and floated to the surrounding corpses, then seeped into these corpses. After a moment, the blood essence of these corpses was extracted and drilled into the crystal coffin. Welcome evil blood old ancestor. Qing Tianxian took the lead to kneel down, bowed his head respectfully, his eyes showed ecstasy. Old ancestor came to help, it means they are saved. Welcome my ass. In the next moment, Yi Tianyun's infinite sword shined with a terrifying light, and the sword slashed down heavily. Yi Tianyun didn't wait for the person inside the crystal coffin to come out, and Yi Tianyun already attacked. Don't be presumptuous. Crack! Immediately, the crystal coffin was quickly pushed open. An old man came out of the crystal coffin, his body was shriveled, no one knows how long he has been sealed inside the crystal coffin. The thick blood qi around him continued to pour into his body, began to replenish his blood qi. After coming out, he quickly raised his palm, a bloody light turned into a huge palm. In this huge palm, there are white bones, like the palm of a devil from hell, grasped towards them. He clearly looked like an old man with 1 foot in the grave, but he was able to erupt with such a shocking power that was not inferior to a young person at all. However, when this terrifying attack came into contact with Yi Tianyun's attack, it instantly melted away, like melting snow. There was no resistance at all. The entire skeletal arm was instantly disintegrated, cleaved apart by the sword of infinity. This power. Blood ancestor fiend blood's withered eyes emitted a bloody light. He roared and slammed the crystal coffin beside him, sending it flying toward Yi Tianyun. Break! Yi Tianyun aimed at the incoming crystal coffin and slashed down. With a loud bang, the crystal coffin was cut into 4 pieces. The pieces scattered to the side and finally fell to the ground. The sturdy crystal coffin became extremely fragile under his tyrannical attack. However, under these 2 impacts, the power he released paused for a moment, and he fell from the sky. His eyes searched Patriarch Fiend Blood's body, revealing all of his information. Patriarch Fiend Blood, 2nd level of core transformation stage, middle grade soul tool armor, combat power 1. 3 million. Martial arts, blood demon palm, blood fiend divine art, etc. Weakness, water attribute attack, can weaken opponent's attack. Killing can obtain blood demon palm, blood fiend divine art, etc. 1.3 million combat power. As expected of a core transformation stage, his combat power has reached such an amazing level, but compared to Yi Tianyun's 2.45 million combat power, this is really nothing. Crazy mode is crazy mode. With 8 times combat power, he can easily crush Patriarch Fiend Blood. But Yi Tianyun knows that if he continues to push back, even if he uses crazy mode in the future, he won't be able to cross too many levels. For example, Qing Tianchuan's cultivation is 8th level of Spirit Core stage, which is 5 levels lower than Patriarch Fiend Blood's cultivation, but their combat power is more than 600,000. This is basically equivalent to more than 100,000 combat power, which is quite a terrifying base. The key point is that Yi Tianyun also sensed that Patriarch Fiend Blood hasn't used his full strength yet. At such a young age, his cultivation has reached such a level. No wonder Tian Xian asked me to help. It seems that we are all old. Patriarch Fiend Blood's dry eyes flashed with a bloody light, and the surrounding blood qi was constantly sucked into his body. At this time, Yi Tianyun's appraisal eyes data slightly changed. 1.33 million combat power. This Patriarch Fiend Blood is worthy of being an ancestor. Just by absorbing other people's blood qi, he can improve his strength. But it seems that Patriarch Fiend Blood's life is almost up. He can only rely on absorbing other people's blood qi to maintain his life, but even if he continues like this, he can't maintain it for too long. Currently, there were only 2 ways to extend one's lifespan. The first was to take the life fruit, which could increase one's lifespan by a certain amount. However, the effect would be negligible if one ate too many of them. The second was to make a breakthrough in cultivation. It was the simplest and most effective method, but it was also the most difficult. This Patriarch Fiend Blood obviously can't break through, so he began to rely on his own martial arts to devour other people's blood. It seems that he has devoured a lot. But there will always be an end, unless there is a new life fruit, otherwise he really can't continue to live. The best way is to seal in the crystal coffin, wait for the life fruit to be found in the future, or find a solution, then he will choose to wake up from his slumber. No, I think you, the older generation, should discipline the younger generation, what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Yi Tianyun said coldly, relying on your little power to invade other people's forces at will, in the end, you will bring disaster to yourself. How we discipline, it's not up to you to teach us. Blood Fiend Blood Ancestor sneered, it seems that if we don't use some real skills, you all think that this is the era of the younger generation. As long as we don't die, don't think that this is your era. As soon as his voice fell, Blood Fiend Ancestor's body suddenly began to swell, and in an instant, his skin began to become smooth and full of elasticity. In the blink of an eye, Blood Fiend Ancestor turned into a strong middle-aged man, looking very burly. A terrifying baleful aura burst forth. It was several times stronger than before. His strong and powerful physique gave off the feeling that he had completely regained his youthfulness. In addition, his combat power has also increased explosively. 1.5 million. 1.6 million. 1.7 million. 2.1 million combat power. Finally, it stopped at 2.1 million combat power. This is the real strength of the second level of core transformation stage, it's actually so powerful. Before, he sealed his blood qi, and the power he showed was naturally not the real state. Now, when it completely broke out, it was as high as 2.1 million combat power, extremely terrifying. Yi Tianyun licked his lips, and his eyes flickered. This is the real core transformation stage, much stronger than the spirit core stage. Chapter 158. Yi Tianyun was the only one who remained calm in the face of this terrifying power. Shi Shuyan, on the other hand, was worried. This is a core transformation stage powerhouse. The power that Yi Tianyun showed just now is also very strong, but it doesn't seem to be as strong as this evil blood ancestor. Yi Tianyun didn't completely release his aura. Of course, it's not as strong as this evil blood ancestor, but his comprehensive combat power can crush this existence. Old ancestor is too strong, this is the old ancestor's power. Qing Tianxian and the others looked at evil blood ancestor in a daze. They were all shocked by this power. They have never seen their old ancestor burst out with his full strength. Old ancestor, kill him. He killed too many of our elders. Old ancestor, suck him dry to avenge our people. They immediately became bold, thinking that evil blood ancestor can definitely kill Yi Tianyun to avenge them. This is your real power. Yi Tianyun squinted his eyes and looked at evil blood ancestor. This made him have a new understanding of core transformation stage powerhouses. At first, he thought that core transformation stage is at most one level stronger than spirit core stage, but now it seems that he was wrong. Because evil blood ancestor didn't release the blood essence in his body, he didn't release his full strength. Now that he released his full strength, too. 1 million combat power is really terrifying. If he didn't have 8x crazy mode, he will really lose. But the result of evil blood ancestor's action is very simple, that is, his lifespan will be greatly reduced. If he didn't do this, he wouldn't be able to defeat Yi Tianyun. Just now, Yi Tianyun already knew the gap between them. No, compared to my peak, it is still a little worse. Evil blood ancestor sneered, but it is more than enough to deal with you. The next moment, evil blood ancestor took the initiative to step out of the fight. He instantly released his evil chi in all directions, crazily spreading in all directions, and even shrouding Yi Tianyun. This evil chi can affect people's mind. If you are shrouded by it, it will definitely affect your combat power. Tianyun, be careful of that murderous aura. Shi Shuayun warned loudly. It's too late, you can't escape from my domain. The blood fiend patriarch snickered darkly, and a cruel blood-red light shot out of his eyes. If I don't suck you dry, I'll be letting down my dead grand disciples. Suck me dry. Yi Tianyun sneered. That's exactly what I was planning to do. I can't waste this experience card. The weapon in his hand changed into a frost fist, followed by the absorbing star's great technique. The murderous aura around him was madly absorbed into his body, turning into a vast amount of experience. 63,000, 62,000, 64,000, with 32 times the experience, just absorbing the evil aura alone had already reached 64,000 experience points. If he could continue absorbing like this, he would definitely level up quickly. Idiot! How dare you absorb my killing intent? You're courting death. Patriarch Fiend Blood waved his hand and the baleful energy on the ground suddenly gathered together, transforming into a giant red palm that enveloped Yi Tianyun. Explode! Patriarch Fiend Blood clenched his fist, and the giant red palm squeezed down, wrapping Yi Tianyun in an instant. Boom! Towering murderous aura erupted like a blood ball exploding in the air, splashing in all directions. Everyone looked at the towering murderous aura. Was Yi Tianyun hit by the explosion? A moment later, a vortex suddenly appeared in the towering murderous aura, sucking in the surrounding murderous aura. In just a few moments, all the baleful aura around Yi Tianyun was sucked dry, leaving only Yi Tianyun standing in the same place without any injuries. Not bad. Thank you for your hospitality. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly. He was worried that he had no more experience points to absorb. Now there was a mobile energy fortress that he could absorb crazily. He was not in a hurry at all. His strength was enough to suppress the blood fiend patriarch. Why should he be in a hurry? If he did not absorb the experience and level up, how could he be worthy of his 20 times experience card? It had been less than an hour since the beginning. There was still an hour left, and it would be a waste if it ended so quickly. How is this possible? Patriarch Fiend Blood was shocked. His attack did not harm Yi Tianyun at all. Instead, it was sucked dry, and there seemed to be no change. Under normal circumstances, absorbing so much of his murderous aura would cause him to lose his mind immediately. Unless his opponent's cultivation was much higher than his, it would more or less be affected. But now, Yi Tianyun was completely fine. He was either immune to it, or his cultivation was crushing him. Nothing is impossible. Do you think I can't surpass you just because I'm younger than you? Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, and his figure flashed. He rushed toward Patriarch Fiend Blood and clenched his fist. Explode! The Frost Fist's effect exploded, and a terrible freezing aura enveloped the area, instantly freezing Patriarch Fiend Blood. However, he quickly reacted and began to break free from the ice. In the blink of an eye, the freezing began to lose effect. In less than a second, he was about to break free. However, half a second was more than enough. Yi Tianyun arrived in front of Patriarch Fiend Blood in an instant. He pressed his palm against Patriarch Fiend Blood and used the Absorbing Star's great technique. In an instant, the spiritual power in his body began to be sucked out and poured into Yi Tianyun's body. However, they were all converted into experience and not absorbed his blood qi. A huge amount of experience kept pouring in, starting from 60,000. At this rate, he would be able to level up after sucking him dry. Lie down. Yi Tianyun's body sank, and he was pressed against the ground. His whole body was pressed against Patriarch Fiendblood's back, making it impossible for him to move. Patriarch Fiendblood wanted to get up, but he felt as if there was a mountain on his back, making it impossible for him to move. In crazy mode, Yi Tianyun was much stronger than him, so how could he move? Even Spirit King Xian Tian was suppressed by him when he was a teenager, let alone Patriarch Fiendblood. Get out of my way. Patriarch Fiendblood's body emitted a murderous aura, but it went into Yi Tianyun's body and was completely absorbed by him. Don't you want to suck me dry? Come on, let's see if I suck you dry first or if you suck me dry first. Yi Tianyun said indifferently, and his absorption speed didn't decrease at all. If he could improve the Absorbing Star's great technique, his absorption speed would increase a lot. Now that he had absorbed for a while, he still felt that the spiritual power in Patriarch Fiendblood's body was like an ocean, and it was not easy to absorb it. Patriarch Fiendblood's cultivation was at the core transformation stage, so it was not easy to absorb it. In the blink of an eye, the old ancestor of Qing Xian Mansion was suppressed. Qing Tianyuan and the others were dumbfounded. They thought that their old ancestor could kill Yi Tianyun in a second. But now, it seemed that he was being suppressed, and he couldn't even move an inch. Chapter 159. Old Ancestor Fiendblood couldn't move at all, and his spiritual power was being extracted by Yi Tianyun. This humiliation is extremely strong, much stronger than Spirit King Xian Tian. Spirit King Xian Tian is just a divine sense, so he doesn't feel any humiliation. But Old Ancestor Fiendblood is different, he is suppressed by a younger generation, how can he not be angry? Let go of Old Ancestor. Qing Tianxian roared and rushed towards Old Ancestor Fiendblood. The other elders also did the same. They are weaker than Yi Tianyun, but if they don't help, their old ancestor will always be suppressed. Now that Old Ancestor is dead, it's their turn. Facing the attack of these elders, Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed coldly. It seems that if I don't get rid of you first, I won't be able to absorb the spiritual power in peace. Immediately, Yi Tianyun stepped on Old Ancestor Fiendblood like a stepping stone, then rushed towards them. This scene scared them, the terrifying power made them unable to breathe. They didn't even get close to Old Ancestor Fiendblood, they felt an extreme cold penetrating into their bones, they felt like they are going to be frozen. They wanted to run away, but in the case of a slight freeze, their movement speed is much slower than before. Since you are here, don't even think about leaving. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, and with a punch, one of the elders was sent flying, then he took a few steps forward, and with another punch, he was sent flying again. In the blink of an eye, both elders were sent flying. after spinning several times in the air, they fell heavily to the ground. A large part of their body was frozen, and it even continued to freeze inside their body. But this freezing doesn't cause any pain to them, because the system beep represents their end. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Elder, rewards 670,000 EXP, 11,000 crazy point. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Elder, the two elders were easily killed. As the Manor Lord, Qing Tianxian hid at the back, so the Frost Fist's area of effect attack had little effect on him. Basically, when Qing Tianxian saw him rushing over, he ran away immediately. He was the last one who rushed over to help. Clearly, no one was willing to throw their lives away. This was especially true for the palace lord, who was even more unwilling to throw his life away. As a prefecture master, his future was limitless, and he wielded even greater authority. "Bastard, you've angered me!" roared Forefather Fiend Blood. Towering baleful energy erupted from his body. He took out a bone blade that was covered in dense divine runes. It looked like veins covering the blade. After taking it out, he aimed it at his own arm and ruthlessly cut it. Poochie! Blood splattered out and fused with the bone blade. In a split second, his power surged, and his battle prowess skyrocketed, berserk. Every cultivator had a different way of exploding their power. The most common way was to burn their own blood essence to explode, which could often increase their power by a lot. Correspondingly, the price was a relatively strong side effect. After the end, their cultivation would drop, and it would take a long time for them to recover. Forefather Fiend Blood didn't have much lifespan to begin with, and burning his own blood essence was a big taboo. But he was suppressed just now, and the humiliation made him want to cut Yi Tianyun into pieces. 2 million. 3 million. 5 million battle prowess. After burning his blood essence, Forefather Fiend Blood's power soared to 400,000 battle prowess, which was terrifying. It immediately overshadowed Yi Tianyun's battle prowess, and the terrifying momentum made Yi Tianyun feel a little pressure. No wonder he is a core transformation stage powerhouse. His power is really amazing. Yi Tianyun stopped, and his expression was dignified. It seemed that he couldn't use up all of his spiritual power this time. Immediately, a flame flashed in his eyes, and the next moment, he ignited the dragon god bloodline in his body, and his whole body was instantly covered with dragon scales. In the case of igniting the dragon god bloodline, coupled with the superposition of crazy mode, his battle prowess suddenly exploded. 5 million. 6 million. 8 million. After igniting the dragon god bloodline, his battle prowess doubled again, reaching an astonishing 8 million. This time, he didn't use the Frost Fist anymore. The freezing effect was definitely there, but the power was not enough. He switched to the Sword of Infinity and took a deep breath. Although it's a bit wasteful, it's time to end it. It's time for you to end it. Fiend Blood killing God. Forefather Fiend Blood naturally refused to admit defeat, and with a roar, he waved the bone blade in his hand and slashed towards Yi Tianyun, and a soaring blood-red light shrouded the surroundings. At this time, a huge phantom appeared behind him, and a blood-red demon emerged, with a ferocious and terrifying face. Then, he waved the bone blade in his hand and slashed towards Yi Tianyun. The originally blue sky was instantly covered by the blood-red color, and from afar, one would think that something terrible had happened here. Luck Aura, activate. At this moment, Yi Tianyun activated Luck Aura, increasing his luck by 10 times. He activated Luck Aura not just to kill Forefather Fiend Blood and obtain the treasures that dropped, but to increase the chance of a critical hit. However, even if he used it, the Sword of Infinity did not have a critical hit effect, and it was no different from an ordinary attack. However, the power was still amazing, and it turned into a long rainbow, piercing forward. He didn't need to use any martial arts, just this violent strength alone. Boom! When the two collided, the demon that forefather Fiend Blood slashed down exploded, and even his whole body was sent flying, and he almost lost his grip on the bone blade in his hand. Yi Tianyun was also sent flying, but it was not a big deal. On the other hand, forefather Fiend Blood's attack was shattered. The difference between the two was obvious. No way, the forefather has used up his blood essence, but he still can't beat him. Qing Tianxian was dumbfounded. Impossible. I want you dead. Forefather Fiend Blood was furious, and he held the bone blade with both hands, aiming at Yi Tianyun again. Tens of thousands of demons surged out from behind him, and his strength rose to another level. Shi Shuyan clenched her fists, full of worry. They were all worried about Yi Tianyun's situation. However, Yi Tianyun's eyes were filled with hope, not despair. Facing a strong enemy, his heart was as firm as a rock. Sword breaks the heavens. He quickly swung his sword to meet the attack. At this moment, the sword of infinity buzzed, and the divine runes on it began to tremble. Its power soared crazily, double damage. With this second strike, the double damage effect was successfully triggered. The entire sword burst out with dazzling light, piercing the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The power that could penetrate everything stabbed toward forefather Fiend Blood, quickly disintegrating and melting the opponent's attack. Under this violent force, the bone blades that chopped down crumbled one by one and fell to the ground. Then, it easily penetrated forefather Fiend Blood's body, and the dazzling light engulfed his body. At this time, Yi Tianyun's appraisal eye focused on the sword, and the combat power was displayed, 7 million. No. Chapter 160. A streak of light pierced through the sky, and Patriarch Fiend Blood fell to the ground. His head had already been separated from his body, and his eyes were wide open. Then the evil blood ancestor started to flow out of his body, and in a blink of an eye, he turned from a sturdy man to a shriveled old man. Just now, he was just using the evil blood ancestor to absorb the blood essence around him to temporarily restore his youthful state. In fact, as long as the evil blood ancestor dissipated, he will return to his original state. Ding, successfully killed evil blood ancestor. Reward, 980,000 EXP, 15,000 crazy point, 100 SPS. Reward, Blood Demon Divine Art, Middle Grade Earth Level Martial Art, Devouring Divine Art, Middle Grade Earth Level Martial Art, Devouring Heaven Divine Art, High Grade Earth Level Martial Art, Rare. Reward, Blood Dragon Bone Blade, High Grade Soul Tool, Evil Blood Divine Armor, High Grade Soul Tool, Blood Jade, Rare, 10 times EXP card, 100,000 gold, Coiling Dragon Treasure Map. Ding. Successfully killed a Super Elite. Additional reward, 1 level upgrade, item, use in Spirit Core Realm, 10. 000 crazy points, enhanced lottery roulette. There was a huge pile of items, and there were 2 rare items. There was even an extra coiling dragon treasure map. This made him sigh, it was really worth it. As expected of a super elite opponent. When he first saw Ancestor Fiend Blood appear and saw the golden name above his head, he knew that his chance to get rich had come. Only a super elite like this can drop good things, otherwise, the things that he got would be mediocre. Although it's not bad, it's still too bad for him. After killing the evil blood ancestor, everyone was shocked. A core transformation realm expert was killed by Yi Tianyun just like that? The remaining Qing Tianxian and the elder directly collapsed on the ground, looking at Yi Tianyun in horror. This is their old ancestor, a core transformation realm expert. How could he just die like that? The answer is obvious, he is really dead, and he was stabbed to death by a sword. On the other hand, Yi Tianyun didn't seem to be injured, it's almost a complete victory. Why you killed Patriarch Fiend Blood? A monster. The elder collapsed to the ground and cried out in terror. In their hearts, Ancestor Fiend Blood had always been the strongest existence, but he had been killed by a single sword strike from this youth. Monster. Yi Tianyun sneered, your ancestor is the monster. He must have absorbed a lot of people's blood to be able to survive until now. Based on the number of sin points he had gained from killing ancestor fiend blood, he could tell how many people he had killed to accumulate such a number. It didn't matter how many creatures were killed. If killing a butterfly or a fish could accumulate sin value, it would be too exaggerated. Only by killing people could he increase his sin value. The more he killed, the more sin value he accumulated. As for the demonic beasts that he had killed before, because he had not killed many of them, he did not have any sin points. Because it was a powerful demonic beast, it gave it a sin value. If he killed ants or something like that, he wouldn't be able to get any sin points. Because there was basically no danger, he wouldn't be able to get any sin points, not even EXP. Qing Tianyun's face was pale, he turned around and ran without any hesitation. He didn't even bother to pay attention to the elder next to him. Mansion Lord. When the elder saw his mansion lord running away, he hurriedly got up and ran away with him. Their escape direction was relatively simple, that is, the giant eagle in the distance. They just wanted to escape on the giant eagle, it was their fastest way to escape. I already said, since you are here, don't think about leaving. Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold, he chased after them in the blink of an eye. In crazy mode, his comprehensive strength is too terrifying, he can even kill a core transformation stage cultivator, let alone a mere spirit core stage cultivator. When he was about to catch up, Qing Tianyun suddenly dragged the elder next to him and threw him towards Yi Tianyun, get over here. Mansion Lord, you. The elder was scared, he didn't think that his mansion lord would do such a heartless thing. They had done their best, but in the end, they were abandoned, and so decisively. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, he didn't show any mercy, he slashed his sword, the elder was cut in half. Qing Tianyun. You will die a horrible death. The elder didn't blame Yi Tianyun, instead, he cursed Qing Tianyun. Qing Tianyun didn't look back, he took advantage of this time to get into the feather carriage, he quickly drove the giant eagle to take off. But just as it took off, the black dragon spat out a scorching flame, burning the giant eagle. TSK, you want to escape on the giant eagle, aren't you a little too naive? Yi Tianyun walked over, Qing Tianyuan ran out of the feather carriage in a panic, he forgot that Yi Tianyun has such a black dragon, how can he escape? This time I lost. As long as you let me go, I will make you the mansion lord. From now on, Qing Xian Mansion will be under your management, I will listen to your orders, and everything in Qing Xian Mansion will be handed over to you. Qing Tianyun begged for mercy. These conditions are very good, after I become the mansion lord, I will develop Qing Xian Mansion, then you will stab me in the back, and I will inherit the Qing Xian Mansion. Yi Tianyun sneered. No. Why would I do that? Qing Tianyuan wiped the cold sweat off his forehead, but his thoughts were different. Right now, all he wanted was to survive, he didn't care how he would take revenge in the future. Whether you do it or not, just the fact that you want our palace lord to be your concubine is enough for you to die 100 times. Yi Tianyun's voice was cold, it was bone-chilling. This. Qing Tianyuan looked at Yi Tianyun's horrified expression, his heart skipped a beat, he immediately knew what he had done wrong. Listen to my explanation, I deserve to die, swoosh. A sword light slashed across, Qing Tianyuan didn't even have time to react, and his head was already separated from his body. Even if the treasure on his body released a protective shield, it was easily pierced through by the sword. Since you said that you deserve to die, then die. Yi Tianyun put away the sword of infinity, and then the system's voice sounded in his ears. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion Lord Qing Tianyuan, gained 780,000 EXP, 13,000 crazy point. Obtained martial art Qing Yun sword technique, Qing Yun steps. Obtained treasure Jade Pearl, Commander Grimoire. Ding, congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, successfully broke through to 6th level Spirit Core. Ding, 20 times EXP card time up. Ding, 3 times Crazy Point card time up. Chapter 161. Phew, it's finally over, Yi Tianyun breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he had leveled up Crazy Mode, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to kill Ancestor Fiend Blood. He was just too strong. He believed that if this continued, he wouldn't be able to win even with Crazy Mode. A second-level core transformation stage cultivator already had more than 2 million combat power. What about third-level core transformation stage, fourth-level core transformation stage? There was no danger now, but it did not mean that there would be no danger in the future. As long as one existed in this world and had a certain amount of power, there was a possibility of being targeted. These days, if you don't cause trouble everywhere, people won't come looking for you. There is a saying that a tree that stands out in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. If Jade Palace continues to grow, it will also be targeted by other forces. If he didn't increase his cultivation, he would also be targeted. Unless they lived in seclusion in the mountains, but if they were found by people with bad intentions, they would still be in danger. In this world where the strong preyed on the weak, there was no place that was absolutely safe. Only by continuously increasing their own strength and the strength of the sect could they protect everything. Let's see how the situation is now. He checked his current attributes and got rid of some of the martial arts and weapons he didn't need. He kept some of the better ones and listed out the details. Player, Yi Tianyun level, 36, 6th layer Spirit Core Realm, EXP, 1373689 Crazy Points, Prestige, 430, Sin Points, 1, 956 Cultivation Techniques, Dark North Divine Art, Dragon God Technique, Xian Tian Divine Art, Heaven Devouring Divine Art Techniques, Absorbing Stars Great Technique, Blood Fiend Soaring Sky, Qingyun Sword Technique, Qingyun Footwork Weapon, Frost Fist, Blood Fiend Divine Spear, Sword of Infinity, Chaotic Heaven Sacred Axe, Blood Dragon Bone Blade Armor, Divine Armor, Shadow Cloak. Chaotic Heaven Divine Armor, Chaotic Heaven Battle Boots, Fiend Blood Divine Armor Divine Ability, Crazy Mode, Lucky Halo Bloodline, Dragon God Bloodline Ornaments, Forging God Hammer, Power Bracelet, Power Ring, Power Belt, Blood Fiend Bracelet. All items, 8 Recovery Pills, Level 41 Gift Pack, HP *1, Bad Luck Pill, Storm Pill, 10x EXP Card. Treasures, Purple Fire Divine Furnace, Blood Jade Stone, Coiling Dragon Treasure Map, Jade Pearl, Commander Grimoire Title, Guardian, Savior Flame, Immortal Flame. Seeing more than 1 million Crazy Point, he smiled. He just killed so many cultivators. With the help of Triple Crazy Card, his Crazy Point can be said to have skyrocketed. His Sin Points didn't increase by much. Sin Points were the hardest to increase. It was still considered a lot. However, what caught his attention was the additional rare items. Heaven Devouring Divine Art, High Rank Earth Level Martial Art. Cannot be upgraded. Able to absorb the surrounding elemental energy and integrate it into one's body to increase one's strength. Note, depending on the attributes of the user and the surrounding environment, the absorption effect will be different. This made Yi Tianyun's eyes light up. This was definitely a good item. He could absorb the surrounding elemental energy to strengthen himself. This was another way to strengthen himself. The more the better. No wonder it was called a rare product. Blood Jade Stone, a rare consumable item used to replenish blood essence. It can be used to replenish blood essence according to the user's condition. There was no limit to the number of times it could be used, and it would shatter upon use. Replenish blood essence. Very good. Yi Tianyun was shocked. This was a good thing he needed right now. Coiling Dragon Treasure Map containing Dragon Vein. Jade Pearl, Cultivation Type Pearl. Wearing it on the body can double the speed of cultivation. Commander Grimoire, after equipping it, it can increase commander points and can condense people. After checking, Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. They were all good items. It seems that after activating Luck Aura, all the items dropped were good. But it depended more on what the other party had. Otherwise, if there was no treasure in this area, it would be impossible to drop it no matter how high Luck Aura was. Tianyun, you are amazing. Shi Shuiyun walked over, her body was a little shaky. Tianyun quickly walked over and supported her. Aunt, are you okay? It's okay. I just need a little rest. Shi Shuiyun's face was pale. It was obvious that she had overdrawn a lot of blood essence. Her aura was also extremely weak. Nonsense. Tianyun said with a straight face, your face is so pale. How can you tell me that you are okay? Immediately, Tianyun took out the blood jade stone, and as soon as he took it out, a rich blood chi came out of it, and the elder who came over was shocked. What a rich blood chi! What kind of treasure is this? They were all stunned. Some of the old ancestors' eyes showed a bit of desire. These ancestors, to put it bluntly, were old fogies. What they desired the most was some treasures that could replenish their blood energy. This way, they could prolong their lifespans and live for a longer period of time. However, whether or not he could make a breakthrough during this period of time was another matter. However, Tianyun was able to kill a core transformation stage powerhouse. They didn't dare to move, let alone speak. Just now, Tianyun said he would kill without mercy, so he didn't dare to say anything. Auntie, absorb this. It can replenish your blood essence. Tianyun put the blood jade stone in her arms and said. No, no. I can't accept this. You have sacrificed too much for this sect. How can I accept your things? I will be fine after a rest. No, you have to absorb it now. Otherwise, I will be angry. Tianyun said with a straight face. Shi Shuiyun looked at Tianyun's determined eyes. Immediately, she sighed softly and absorbed the blood chi. Thick blood chi flowed into her body. Her face became slightly ruddy. The blood chi in her body was continuously replenished. The effect was too obvious. This situation made them jealous. This was definitely a top-grade treasure. However, they didn't say anything. It was not because of Tianyun, but because Shi Shuiyun had sacrificed too much. Basically, her blood chi was depleted. It would take several years to replenish it. During this period of time, not only would her cultivation decrease, it would also affect her talent. Therefore, even if they had this blood jade stone, they would give it to Shi Shuiyun to absorb first. I am much better. I can absorb it now. After absorbing for a while, Shi Shuiyun's face became much better. She quickly returned the blood jade stone to Tianyun. No, absorb it for me until I feel that you're fine. If you don't absorb it, I'd rather smash it than keep it. Tianyun said with a straight face, he still has no intention of letting go. Shi Shuiyun said helplessly. Okay, I will absorb it. Is that okay? She could only listen to Tianyun's order. She began to absorb the blood jade stone. When the whole blood jade stone became translucent, her condition finally improved. It's amazing. I feel that my blood chi has completely recovered. Moreover, it's a lot stronger than before. Shi Shuiyun felt a lot better after absorbing the blood jade stone. That's for sure. The thing I gave to Aunt is naturally not bad. Tianyun could see that Shi Shuiyun's condition was completely better. Her cultivation even improved a level. She was now at the peak of core condensation. If she continued to advance, she would be able to break through to spirit core stage. Previously, she relied on burning her blood essence and palace treasure to temporarily promote her cultivation to spirit core stage. Now that she has recovered, she is naturally at core condensation. But after absorbing the blood jade stone, her cultivation has improved. Cultivators are so magical. After experiencing a life and death battle, they can often have a breakthrough. Shi Xueyun is one of the best. After every battle, her cultivation can advance by leaps and bounds. Of course, compared to Yi Tianyun who has this system, the difference is not small. There is no comparison between the two. Immediately, he put away the blood jade stone. Those old ancestors looked at the blood jade stone and did not dare to ask. Yi Tianyun knew what they were thinking, but this blood jade stone is a good thing. Naturally, he will not give it to them. Chapter 162. Shi Xueyun completely recovered with the help of blood jade stone, and it took a very short time. Under normal circumstances, according to Shi Xueyun's situation, even if she relies on some good blood essence pill, it will take a few years to recover. Unless there is some kind of blood essence pill, but the price is quite amazing, and it is not sold in the Earth border continent. If there is no similar supplement, it will take a few decades to recover. Blood essence is equivalent to your own life, you can squander it when you are young, but for old ancestor level, it is equivalent to reincarnation. Blood jade stone is such a heaven-defying treasure, in a short time, it doesn't take a few years, but a few hours to recover. It doesn't take an hour to completely recover. During this period, the other corpses have been cleaned up. Many disciples showed a happy expression on their faces. This is completely the feeling of surviving a disaster. Looking at Yi Tianyun's eyes is full of worship. Yi Tianyun looked up, he can see that their favorability towards him has exploded, each of them has reached more than 100. He doesn't need to do any quest to increase their favorability. Originally, favorability is something that increases with his behavior, the quest just forcibly increases it. After collecting the spoils of war, they all return to heaven's immersing ancient ruins. The overall situation is not bad, most of them have no problem. They all hid in heaven's immersing ancient ruins, so there is no big problem. If they didn't hide in heaven's immersing ancient ruins before, most of them would have been taken away. Therefore, the injured are basically only elder level, the rest of the weaker cultivators are not a problem. It's not that they don't have the courage, but going out is only courting death. In the face of so many strong cultivators, there is no point for them to go out, they can't even be regarded as cannon fodder. At this time, Zhu Yue and others came back, and when they heard that there is no problem here, they hurried back. When they learned that Yi Tianyun has cleaned up all the corpses, all of them were shocked. A Qing Xian mansion was destroyed by him. Miss Zhu, how about you join our Jade Palace in the future? Yi Tianyun formally invited her at this time. You want me to join Jade Palace? Zhu Yue froze, others also froze. Not to join Jade Palace, but isn't this pavilion Master Z, why is her surname Zhu? Yes, Wind Pavilion is a garbage place, there is no need for you to go back. Yi Tianyun smiled and said, I feel that Jade Palace is lacking an elder who knows how to manage big and small affairs. I want you to be the elder in charge of Jade Palace. There is no need for me to say the rest, with your talent, I believe you can manage this place perfectly. Wind Pavilion is thriving under your management, I believe this responsibility is very suitable for you. Don't worry, we will give you the greatest authority. You can manage it as you see fit. Let me be an elder of Jade Palace, this. Zhu Yue is dumbfounded, she didn't expect Yi Tianyun to say this, but isn't this too much? Palace with sure elders also, this is palace with sure is, this is palace of. Since Tianyun said so, it proves that Miss Zhu is trustworthy, and you chose to support us without hesitation, this is enough. Since Tianyun said so, it proves that Miss Zhu is trustworthy. Moreover, you chose to support us without any hesitation. Just this thought alone is enough. Shi Xueyun smiled and said, Here, I formally invite you to be our elder, I don't know. I support Miss Zhu to become an elder, you risked your life for us, plus your position in Wind Pavilion, everyone can see that. I support Miss Zhu to become an elder. She sacrificed her life for us, plus her status in Wind Pavilion, everyone can see that. Great Elder echoed, she has a good impression of Zhu Yue. After all, she risked her life for them, there is nothing more sincere than this. Zhu Yue blushed, there are so many people supporting her, plus Yi Tianyun's words, she is very tempted, but now she has nowhere to go. Zhu Yue blushed, so many people support her, plus Yi Tianyun's words, she is very tempted, but now she has nowhere to go. Okay, but I am also very strict with myself, if I don't improve Jade Palace within a year, I will leave on my own. Zhu Yue's expression is serious, this is obviously not a joke. This statement made many people more convinced, with such determination, how can it be bad? Yi Tianyun smiled and nodded, he believes that after a while, Zhu Yue's usefulness will immediately manifest. Her management ability is very strong, Jade Palace is not a treasure house, but she is undoubtedly a very suitable candidate for mixing materials, or purchasing spirit herbs and so on. Here, I want to make a request to the elders, I intend to let 2 people become reserve elders. Yi Tianyun said. All the disciples present are here, so they can hear what they are talking about. Reserve elder, which 2? The elders are puzzled. The first, Sister Xiao Yan, the second is Jiu Mei. Yi Tianyun motioned Lu Menglian to come out. Lu Menglian and Jiu Lingyun came out, completely dumbfounded, let them become reserve elder. The first reserve elder is Sister Xiao Yan, and the second reserve elder is Sister Jiu. In this crisis, Sister Xiao Yan and Jiu Mei performed well, in addition to taking the lead in treating the wounded, they also comforted the people, and often went out to find ingredients. This courage, this leadership ability, is enough to be a reserve elder. Their cultivation may not be the highest, but their leadership ability is the most outstanding. Just now, Yi Tianyun has already learned some of the situation from the other disciples, their cultivation is not the highest, but their leadership ability is very high, this is enough. He has no selfishness in this, but he really saw their enthusiasm, their leadership ability, this is what an elder should have. The other disciples nodded, their eyes showed a look of approval, they all saw it. The disciples with higher cultivation bases didn't say anything. They all nodded. At this critical moment, they were the ones who had panicked and felt very ashamed. To be honest, this is my first proposal as an elder, the elders and the palace master can discuss it themselves, Yi Tianyun said. There is no need to discuss, I agree. Shi Shuiyun did not even think about it, I also saw their performance, even if you don't say it, I already have this idea. Yi Tianyun smiled, no matter what, Ant stood by his side, chose to agree with him. The other elders looked at each other, but did not say anything, whether they have ideas or not, they can only choose to agree. Yi Tianyun has the highest status, the most popular, who dared not to support him. Moreover, they also know the situation, they are all convinced. Very well, now I will leave everything here to you, the rest, I plan to go to Qingxian Mansion and uproot it. Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold, full of killing intent. You don't want to take me? Shi Shuiyun smiled indifferently. Yi Tianyun nodded and said with a smile, how can I not agree to the palace master's request? Chapter 163. After making the necessary arrangements, Yi Tianyun and Shi Shuiyun boarded the Black Dragon and flew directly to Qingxian Mansion. After the battle, the Black Dragon's cultivation had skyrocketed. Now, it had reached level 3 of Spirit Core stage, which was much stronger than before. Therefore, its flying speed was much faster than before. And, don't you want to ask me why my cultivation is so high all of a sudden? Yi Tianyun suddenly thought of this question, except the first time he asked this question. Although the initial explanation was a cliché excuse of having the help of an expert, the speed at which his cultivation broke through was truly incredible. This was obviously beyond common sense. Within a month, he could even kill a core transformation stage cultivator. Why should I ask? Shi Shuiyun smiled lightly, as long as you are still Tianyun, no matter what you do, I will follow you, I will accompany you. If you die from cultivation deviation, I will guard your grave until I die, I will never abandon you. Her calm tone was telling a different story. Auntie. Yi Tianyun was startled. He didn't expect that Shi Shuiyun would say such words and trust him unconditionally. The atmosphere suddenly became heavy. This topic was obviously a bit sad. Shi Shuiyun looked at him and then looked at the front. She said casually, I wanted to die with you, but if I die, who will burn incense for you? Who's going to pay their respects to you? It's enough that I can protect you. Yi Tianyun's heart was touched. He reached out and gently hugged Shi Shuiyun. He couldn't say a word. Shi Shuiyun didn't say anything. She just quietly leaned on the side. Suddenly, she looked up and smiled. I don't know when your chest became so strong. It wasn't so strong before. Is that so? Then lie down a little longer. Yi Tianyun didn't know what to say now. Shi Shuiyun didn't speak. She continued to lie in his arms and closed her eyes. It seemed that she was enjoying the peace. Under the leadership of the Black Dragon, they returned to Heavenly Boundary Continent and flew directly to Qing Xian Mansion. He had inquired about Qing Xian Mansion before, so he roughly knew where it was. Aunt, the preparation is coming. Yi Tianyun's expression is serious, and a cold light flashes in his eyes. Well. Shi Shuiyun responded softly, but she didn't get up, still leaning on his chest. The people below looked over and were shocked by the situation. A man and a woman were riding on a black dragon. They looked like an immortal couple. Black dragon, someone can use a divine beast as a mount. I have never seen such a thing in my life. To be able to use a divine beast as a mount, it must be a disciple of a 4th-level sect. It's scary. Which empire are they from? Why are they here? The cultivators passing by were all pointing at this side. They were all shocked by this scene. Although Yi Tianyun has chosen a remote place to fly, he still met some cultivators. At this moment, Qing Xian Mansion is no different from usual. I don't know what happened to the mansion lord and the others. Jade Palace is probably finished. Hee, I heard that there are a lot of female disciples in Jade Palace. If we bring them back this time, we can enjoy ourselves. One of the deacons of Core Condensation Realm smiled, his face was full of wretchedness. Hee, that's true. Those little girls are all tender. Bring them back and have a good time, then throw them to the brothel outside and sell them. A female disciple who can cultivate, the price is not low. Another deacon followed with a smirk. He was already thinking about how to play with the captured female disciple. It's not just these deacons, the rest of the disciples thought that Jade Palace is going to be completely captured. I heard that Jade Palace used some despicable means to kill our elders. Hee, so many elders are going to kill them, let's see if they can survive. Capture them all and make them our female slaves. Female slaves? That sounds too bad. They'll become our personal maids, and they'll reward us core disciples with one each. Just the thought of it is exhilarating. They're all young cultivators, much better than those ordinary cultivators. That's not it, who told Jade Palace to provoke us, Profound Azure Mansion. Let's destroy Jade Palace and let them know our strength. Becoming female slaves is still light, it should be slaves for generations. They are extremely arrogant. Trash sect like Jade Palace, they simply look down on them. There is a huge gap between 1st-level force and 3rd-level force, it's like a chasm, it can't be filled. Slaves for generations? That's really arrogant. Do you really think that just because you became a 3rd-level force, you are the strongest? At this time, a black dragon fell from the sky and heavily pressed on the martial arts square of this Qing Xian mansion. The ground shook, attracting everyone's attention. When they saw this huge black dragon, they were shocked. Divine Beast Black Dragon. They haven't seen dragon race before, but they have heard the corresponding description, or read the corresponding picture book. The black dragon in front of them has drawn out their memories. You, Who are you? They feel the terrifying momentum, their body is trembling, they can't bear the terrifying momentum. We? Yi Tianyun and Shi Shuayun came down from above, and summoned a huge snow wolf next to them, looked at them coldly and said, "Aren't we the trash Jade Palace? Your elders and mansion lord are dead, now you are the only ones left. I thought I would let you go, but now it seems I can only say that you can escape, even if you have the ability. If you can't escape, then this place will be your grave. Do it." Yi Tianyun waved his hand, Black Dragon and Snow Wolf immediately rushed to the side. Black Dragon's huge body is even more outstanding in destroying buildings. When they rushed to the side, Yi Tianyun and Shi Shuayun looked at each other and smiled. "Let's go to Qing Xian Mansion and take away all the treasures and martial arts, these are our spoils of war." While these things are not taken away, they quickly take it, otherwise like last time, the three major forces were killed, but when they arrived, everything was already taken away. This time is different, the remaining disciples of Qing Xian Mansion don't know the situation, so there is still time. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion disciple, gained 10,000 EXP, 200 crazy point. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion deacon, gained. Chapter 164. Yi Tianyun and Shi Shuayun are aiming at the library pavilion and crazily rush in to plunder. These library pavilions have corresponding spirit arrays, but for Yi Tianyun, it's meaningless, he just needs to break the spirit arrays by force. "It's so boring, Mansion Lord brought so many people, unfortunately I can't go, otherwise I really want to go and see. Jade Palace dares to go against our Qing Xian Mansion, if I go, I will definitely crush them." The old man sitting in the library pavilion said with some boredom. Immediately two figures appeared in his sight. The deacon of the library pavilion hurriedly stood up and said with a serious expression, "You, who are you?" Although Qing Tianxian took away a lot of experts, but there are still some left here, otherwise this place is empty, there are a lot of forbidden places, so people can enter at will. "Didn't you say that you want to crush us? Now I'm here, come and crush me." Yi Tianyun rushed up and kicked the deacon. With a bang, the deacon was kicked out and crashed into a pile of bookshelves in the distance. A pile of martial arts fell down and buried him. Ding, successfully killed Qing Xian Mansion deacon, obtained. After that, they started to plunder the library and completely cleaned out the entire library. As long as it's martial arts, all of them are stored in the storage ring. Human-level martial arts. Take it away. Earth-level martial arts. Take it away. After plundering the library pavilion, they began to plunder other places for treasures. As long as someone intercepts them, they are all punched away by Yi Tianyun. Shi Shuayun doesn't even need to do anything, she just helps them to plunder the treasures. When Shi Shuayun wanted to help, she was stopped by Yi Tianyun. He said that he can do the heavy work. Shi Shuayun smiled and didn't say anything, she just let Yi Tianyun do it. Pill, take it away. Spirit medicine, take it away. What grade of weapon? No matter what, take them all away. Everything was taken away. In any case, they had brought a lot of storage rings this time, and they were completely used to move things. Everything was taken away at once. Huh. There's a basement here. When Yi Tianyun was inspecting the treasury, he discovered that there was a secret passage leading down. Could there be some secret inside? They looked at each other and quickly walked down. The deeper they went, the more they could smell the thick smell of blood coming from inside. At this time, they already knew the answer in their hearts, and their eyes revealed cold gazes at the same time. As they walked down the steps, a strong smell of blood wafted towards them, causing them to frown. What greeted his eyes was simply hell. A bloody hell. This place was filled with blood, and there were pools of blood all around. There were no corpses, but it was all blood. How many people did he have to kill to accumulate so much blood? Sob, sob, sob. don't kill us, woo woo woo." At this time, cries came from ahead, causing them to look up. They discovered that there was a metal cage hanging in the sky, and there were many children inside. These children were all ordinary people, but they looked very intelligent. "Bastard!" Yi Tianyun cursed. Without a doubt, these pools of blood were the blood of these children. "Save them." They quickly rushed up, and quickly untied the cage hanging above, and let the children down. When they just let them down, the children cried even more miserably. "Woo woo, don't kill us, don't kill us. We are very obedient, we will do anything, don't kill us. Let's meet mother, father, mother, where are you?" They all cried very miserably, and looked at Yi Tianyun and the rest in fear. "Children, don't cry. Big sister is not a bad person. Big sister is here to save you." Shi Shuiyun began to comfort them. She used a sweet smile, and a gentle tone to comfort their hearts. "Really? Big sister is not a bad person, big sister looks prettier than those bad people, you don't look like a bad person." One by one, they began to calm down. It seemed that the people who came this time were different. Then, Shi Shuiyun opened the cage and let them all out. After they came out, they didn't dare to run away. They all looked frightened, and they were so hungry that they were sallow and emaciated. "Auntie, take them out first. I will take care of this place." Yi Tianyun's eyes were filled with anger. Shi Shuiyun nodded, then led the dozen children out, away from this ghastly place. After they left, Yi Tianyun's hand burst into flames. This was the inextinguishable flame. This should be the place where ancestor fiend blood absorbs blood essence. Obviously, he conquered the earthly boundary continent to plunder more children. These damned bastards! Yi Tianyun angrily threw out the inextinguishable flame, which quickly burned. He frantically threw out the inextinguishable flame, and piles of flames enveloped the entire area. No matter how many treasures there are here, he didn't even look at them, he just threw out the flame and burned everything here. After igniting the flame, Yi Tianyun quickly evacuated from here, his heart was quite heavy. These cultivators, in order to break through and prolong their lifespan, they will do anything. When he went out, the outside has been almost destroyed by Black Dragon. Both of them are extremely fierce demon beasts, and their cultivation is not low, so the destruction of the buildings is quite amazing. Especially Black Dragon, its huge body is enough to suppress everything. By the time they came out, all the buildings in front of them looked as if they had been swept away. They were all in ruins. All the disciples present are either dead or escaped. Black Dragon and Snow Wolf alone can't kill all the disciples. Yi Tianyun is not a particularly bloodthirsty type, so he didn't deliberately kill them. Give them a chance, and if they can't escape, then this place will become their grave. If they can escape, it's their own ability. The main purpose is to play a deterrent role, to prove that Jade Palace is not empty. Is it done? Then let's go, take these children back. Shi Shuiyun thought for a moment, and added, take them back to Jade Palace. They. Yi Tianyun is startled, he seems to think of something. Shi Shuiyun nodded gently, there is no doubt that the parents of these children are dead. Their children are robbed, they certainly don't want to, and the result of resistance is basically a dead end. She doesn't rule out that there are still children alive, but now the best way is to take them back to Jade Palace. That's good, Aunt, wait for me. When they are ready to leave, Yi Tianyun nodded to Shi Shuiyun, and then ran in front of the huge stone tablet of Qing Xian Mansion, engraved with the words, Qing Xian Mansion. He took out the blood dragon bone blade, a thick murderous aura exuded from the bone blade, as if he is holding a blood dragon in his hand, the dragon scales on it are very realistic. This blood dragon bone blade is made from the bones of a blood dragon, it has such strong dragon power. But the effect is relatively limited, there is no special effect, it is a relatively strong high-grade soul tool, this is enough. After he took it out, he slashed on the huge stone tablet, on the three big words, Qing Xian Mansion, two deep ravines were drawn on it, like a big cross. Immediately he also engraved a line of words on it, whoever dares to rebuild Qing Xian Mansion, I will flatten it again in the future. No matter how many times it is rebuilt, I will flatten it again. Chapter 165. The actions of the Qing Xian Mansion had aroused Yi Tianyun's anger. When he first saw Ancestor Fiend Blood, he knew that something was wrong with him. He absorbed the blood essence of others to live. He didn't expect that he would absorb the blood essence of children to extend his lifespan. He was worse than an animal. In order to survive, in order to enhance their cultivation, they would do anything. They had completely entered a state of madness. Ding! Completed the hidden mission, rescue the trapped children from the hands of the devil. Obtained 100,000 experience points and 100 prestige points. At this time, the system's voice sounded in his ears. He had gained 100 prestige points. This should have been a very happy thing, but now he couldn't feel happy at all. In fact, he was quite angry. If he didn't destroy the Qing Xian Mansion, this kind of thing would definitely continue. Even many children from families in the Earth Boundary continent would be kidnapped. As long as someone continued to cultivate this evil skill, they would definitely do this. This time, it was Ancestor Fiend Blood. Next time, he didn't know which ancestor it would be. The ancestor Black Soul he met before was like this. He occupied a mountain and acted as a king. God knew how many innocent lives were sacrificed to the evil Black Dragon's spiritual vein. It was undeniable that his hands were stained with a lot of blood, but at least he would never attack innocent people. He wouldn't attack good people, and he wouldn't take the initiative to attack. As long as people didn't provoke him, he would never attack them. If people don't offend me, I won't offend them. If people offend me, I will pay them back 100 times. This had always been the bottom line in his heart. Tianyun, don't think so much. There are some things that we can't control. But at least we do some things. Shi Shuayun smiled at him. Yi Tianyun took a deep breath, nodded and said, It's okay, I just thought about it for a while, let's go, take these children back. He signaled the Black Dragon to land. Then, he led the group of children to climb on the back of the Black Dragon. At first, these children were frightened. But after being comforted by Shi Shuayun, they were not so afraid. Let's go. Yi Tianyun controlled the Black Dragon to take them back to the heavens immersing ancient ruins, leaving behind the Qing Xian Mansion covered in flames. When the flames extinguish, all that's left will be ruins. Not long after they left, a figure flashed over and looked at the departing silhouette. Even the Qing Xian Mansion has been destroyed. Who is that kid? Even the Black Dragon is willing to be his mount. If it wasn't tamed from a young age, it's very rare for it to become a mount. The middle-aged man narrowed his eyes as he watched them leave. His gaze was gloomy as he said, Looks like I have to go back and tell the great emperor about this. It seems like there's a restless force rising in this continent. After that, his figure gradually became transparent, and he quickly disappeared without a trace. Soon, Yi Tianyun and the others returned to the heavens immersing ancient ruins. There has been a lot of changes here, it seems like everything is moving in an orderly manner. Due to the destruction of the Qing Xian Mansion, they have more places to move around. Zhu Yue began to constantly go out to purchase various materials. They collected a lot of spoils of war, so their financial resources suddenly became a lot stronger, so they have enough funds to strengthen Jade Palace. When they came back, they heard a pleading voice. Pavilion Master Z, please come back as our Pavilion Master, our Heavenly Rain Pavilion can't do without you. That's right, that's all Elder Yu's fault, it has nothing to do with us. If we were here, we would definitely help without hesitation. That's right, we have a good relationship with Jade Palace, even if it's Qing Xian Mansion, we will still help. When Yi Tianyun and the others came back, they saw a group of people begging Zhu Yue in front of them. They even called her Pavilion Master Z. They don't know her real surname. Zhu Yue said with a cold expression, "Is that so, Pavilion Master Wang? Didn't you put Elder Yu beside me to monitor me? Isn't it to correct my mistakes?" She is not a fool, she already knows the identity of Elder Yu. It was true that she was the Pavilion Master, but Elder Yu's words carried more weight than hers. Furthermore, she was the elder who had been in contact with the headquarters. Her every move had to be reported. This time she chose to support Jade Palace. Elder Yu is definitely not willing, she believes that the headquarters has already thought about it. Now the winner is king, the loser is in the wrong. They are a typical belated shot. Now they come to beg her to change her mind and return to Heavenly Rain Pavilion as the Pavilion Master. In Zhu Yue's view, it's not that she has the ability, but Yi Tianyun became the winner of this war. Being able to destroy Qing Xian Mansion means that Yi Tianyun has terrible power, so they will definitely come here to claim their relationship. The middle-aged man is embarrassed. He is not someone else, he is the chief pavilion master of Heavenly Rain Pavilion. His cultivation is at 8th level core condensation, he is quite strong. But now he is like a dog, he came to beg Zhu Yue to go back. Zhu Yue's performance this time is very good. After returning, she will definitely get help from Yi Tianyun. How can they let her go? Even if they have to bow their head, they will beg to go back. We don't mean that. In our heart, we are always willing to be friends with Jade Palace. No matter what happens in the future, we will help. If you can, I will let you come to our headquarters as the Chief Deputy Pavilion Master. Give you the highest authority. Pavilion Master Wang, there is no need to say more, please go back. Some things are missed, I can understand that you choose to protect yourself, but now I have joined Jade Palace, I will give everything for Jade Palace, so there is no need to say more. Zhu Yue stopped their persuasion and motioned them to leave. She refused without hesitation. She had already been abandoned twice. If she were to do it a third time, then she would be an idiot. Well said. Yi Tianyun walked in and applauded, smiled and said, "Thank you for your support, otherwise I really can't recruit such a talent. If there is nothing else, we still have something to do, this way please." When Pavilion Master Wang saw Yi Tianyun came back, his eyes lit up, and hurriedly flattered, "This is Elder Yi, you are really a young hero. Before we planned to support you, who would have thought that Elder Yu would do such a stupid thing? I know that things can't be changed, but we can give more support. All materials, we will charge you 50% of the price." This is already a big loss, but unfortunately, Yi Tianyun doesn't like it at all. "We don't need it for the time being, please leave." Yi Tianyun motioned them to leave. Pavilion Master Wang sighed. His intestines were green with regret. He had lost the chance to get close to a powerful force. If they can get close to this mountain, their Heavenly Rain Pavilion can really do anything they want. Unfortunately, there is no chance now. Chapter 166. When they left, Yi Tianyun smiled and said, "Elder Zhu, it seems that your old master is reluctant to let you go, and they want you to go back and be the Chief Deputy Pavilion Master. You will have a lot more power than before." "Elder Yi, you are joking again." "They look at me, isn't it because of Elder Yi's strength?" Zhu Yue smiled indifferently, "I have already given up on Heavenly Rain Pavilion, in addition to using me, I have no other thoughts. Once I have no value, I will be abandoned immediately, and there is no difference between me and a puppet. Since I have become an elder of Jade Palace, I will do everything I can for Jade Palace." Zhu Yue's words caused everyone to be moved. Yi Tianyun just teased a little, but he didn't expect Zhu Yue to say such serious words. This. Yi Tianyun felt a little embarrassed, he invited Zhu Yue to join, he didn't think too much. But Zhu Yue is indeed a talent in management, Jade Palace needs this type of talent. But immediately he thought, and said, since you said so, I believe that Jade Palace is absolutely sincere to you, and will never abandon you. Zhu Yue's serious expression suddenly burst into a smile, but she didn't speak. Sister, where is this? At this time, the children who came back next to them looked around. They are very curious about this place. They calmed down a lot after being comforted. At this time, other disciples have come over. Looking at these children, they are very curious. Didn't they go to raise Qing Xian Mansion? Why did they bring so many children back? Immediately Shi Xuan said what happened. All of them showed an angry expression, pointing at Qing Xian Mansion is too cruel. Then they are full of sympathy for these children. One by one they take them to eat, let them get familiar with this place. Then they began to distribute the loot. The loot from Qing Xian Mansion are piled up in the temple. When many elders saw this situation, they were shocked. So many martial arts, is this earth-level martial arts? This is a weapon, all of them are high-level spirit tools. This is a soul tool. This is a pill. And it's a grade 4 medicinal pill. They were shocked by the amount of spoils of war. Previously, they had plundered a lot of spoils of war from the corpses, which was shocking enough. This time, they brought back even more, especially martial arts. Normally, disciples or elders of sects would not bring martial arts with them. It was completely because after cultivating in the library, he would put the martial arts back and firmly remember them in his mind. Why would he carry them around with him? Now that they had brought so many martial arts, it was undoubtedly enough to fill the gap in their martial arts. In order for a force to become stronger, it was necessary for them to increase their cultivation. However, if they did not have a corresponding powerful martial art, they would not be able to break through, and they would not be able to display their full strength. There are so many good things here. The Qing Xian Mansion has so many resources. It's enough for us to become a second-grade force easily. We might even be able to reach the peak of the second-grade force. The great elder sighed with emotion. Yes, but when are we going back? The second elder asked. Go back. Yi Tianyun shook his head and said, there's no need to go back, just stay in this heavens-immersing ancient ruins. After we repair this place, it will be our Jade Palace's territory. The elders were startled, they couldn't accept it. They have been staying on the snow mountain for a long time. If they just moved here, wouldn't they have forgotten about the ancestral land? I know you can't accept it, but from a safety point of view and from a cultivation point of view, this heavens-immersing ancient ruins is a very good place. As long as the great formation here is slightly repaired, then the concentration of spiritual power here will definitely be much higher than before. This is extremely beneficial for the cultivation of many disciples. Yi Tianyun said with a smile, of course, this is just a suggestion. If you really don't want to, then we can use this place as a cultivation place. He is just a suggestion, it's up to them to decide what to do. They are also hesitant. They have lived there for so many years, but it is undeniable that the environment here is better and safer. If it weren't for them hiding here, they would have already fallen. The original Jade Palace is really a place of first-level faction, but even a third-level faction doesn't have this type of temple in heavens-immersing ancient ruins. If it is repaired, it can be called a temple. If it is not repaired, it will be an ancient ruin. I agree with Tianyun's words, it's not that I am biased. Although it is nostalgic, but our ancestors migrated from the heavenly boundary continent, isn't it the same? Shi Xuan said solemnly, and when our forces become strong, don't you want to go to the heavenly boundary continent? His words stunned them for a moment, and then their hearts began to boil. How can they not want to go to the heavenly boundary continent and live there permanently? That is the place that all forces in the heavenly boundary continent dream of. Taking root there permanently, whether it is for the sect or not, is a sign of strength. Old ancestor, what do you think? The patriarchs were also watching from the side. They smiled and said, this is your world now. Do whatever you want. We also want to make Jade Palace return to the heavenly boundary continent in our lifetime. Their ancestors came from the heavenly boundary continent, but why they came here, they don't know. But one thing is for sure, their ancestors must want to go back. If they can go back there, it is a wish. They all nodded in unison, and they didn't say anything else. The rest is to completely move the remaining things of Jade Palace here, completely regard this place as the main sect. In the next time, the whole sect began to operate, everyone began to get busy. Zhu Yue began to mobilize the entire sect disciples, arrange all aspects of things, everything is in order. Everything is going according to the normal pace. Yi Tianyun on the other hand has nothing to do, began to stay in heaven's immersing ancient ruins to cultivate. Under normal circumstances, he can cultivate, such as absorbing the surrounding spiritual power to cultivate, can also continue to gain experience. But because the concentration is too low, he can only gain a few hundred experience each time. If it was in the past when his cultivation was low, the effects would still be amazing. But now, it was simply too low. He doesn't know how long it will take before he can break through. As for the more than 1 million crazy point, he doesn't want to use it for the time being. He can use it to upgrade Dragon God Bloodline, or Luck Aura, but he doesn't need it for the time being. Luck Aura is enough for now. If it is upgraded, and he encounters a powerful opponent in the future, then there is no crazy point to upgrade, everything depends on the situation. Chapter 167. Yi Tianyun planned to repair these formations by himself, but he didn't know what grade it would take. If it was too difficult, then he would have to wait. Old Xian said without hesitation, roughly a 5th grade inscription master would be able to repair these formations. 5th grade? Yi Tianyun was startled. His advanced forging mastery was equivalent to a 5th grade inscription master, but it took him a long time to reach that level. Correspondingly, the improvement of his divine inscription mastery would also require a lot of practice. Yes, roughly a 5th grade inscription master would be able to repair all of them. But some of them would require a divine inscription master. Because the previous owner invited a divine inscription master to help him engrave them, you would need at least a divine inscription master to repair them. Old Xian explained. Only a divine inscription master could repair all of them. Yi Tianyun took a deep breath. How long would it take for him to reach this level? Because he had Yi Qingshuan's memory, he knew how difficult it would be. In the entire heavenly border continent, there were less than a handful of people who could reach this level. There might be more than a handful of master blacksmiths, but not so many divine inscription masters. The rarity of divine inscription masters was quite high, so it would cost a lot to invite one. In the past, Spirit King Xian Tian was able to invite a divine inscription master because of his high status. With his current situation, how could he invite a divine inscription master? Unless Yi Qingxian controlled the spirit race, she would definitely be able to invite a divine inscription master or even a divine inscription grandmaster. The spirit race was extremely powerful, otherwise the Netherworld Empire wouldn't want to control it. Take me to have a look, let's start with the simple repairs. Yi Tianyun got up helplessly. He couldn't repair the high-grade inscription masters, but he should be able to repair the low-grade ones. No problem, the lowest grade divine inscription is a 3rd grade divine inscription, please come this way. Elder Xian brought him into the shrine. Then, they arrived in front of some small-scale spirit gathering formations and said, these are the simplest small-scale spirit gathering formations. They're slightly damaged. Of course, I don't know much about this, so I'll have to ask Master to take a look. Yi Tianyun nodded. After inspecting the place, he found that it was indeed a small-scale spirit gathering formation. He hadn't had much time to investigate it before. Now that he looked carefully, these small spirit gathering arrays had been damaged a lot, but it was not a problem for him at all. Because he had the memories Yi Qingxian had imparted to him, he didn't dare to say that he knew all the divine inscriptions, but at the very least, he knew the majority of them. In fact, he even knew some of the more profound ones. It was just that his standard was too low. Even if he was given the method to inscribe the divine inscriptions, he still wouldn't be able to succeed. Regardless of the grade, according to this memory, what divine inscriptions couldn't he repair? What he lacked now was a level. Looks like it's been a long time, and the damage is quite serious. The effect is probably only about 3 or 4 times the usual. Yi Tianyun nodded. No wonder old Xian was screaming like a ghost. These spirit-gathering formations are half broken, the effect is not very good. If they continue to absorb the spirit qi, the whole heavens immersing ancient ruins will collapse. Then, he went to fetch the divine wood liquid and an ordinary grade divine rune brush. If one wanted to inscribe a divine rune, one could simply use one's finger or a divine rune brush. The most powerful way is to use one's finger, which is only possible with a very high level of attainment. It's just like crafting with bare hands and refining pills. The divine rune brush can increase the success rate. It's Yi Tianyun's first time inscribing a divine rune, so for safety's sake, it's better to use a divine rune brush to repair it. If the repair fails, it will cause the spirit gathering array to break, which is not an ending he wants to see. Let's see where to start. Yi Tianyun looked at the spirit gathering array. According to his current level, he can completely know where to start. Oh right, I have a talent, right? Let's see what it is like. He has the talent that Yi Qingxian gave him, the heavenly eye. He wants to see what kind of talent it is. Heavenly eye, open. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed with a pale blue light, and immediately the whole world showed a different color. All the arrays on the ground, including those engraved on the wall, were clearly reflected in his eyes. The whole array, where the energy is thin and where the energy is abundant, can be clearly seen. Arrays can't be seen with the naked eye, especially some of the hidden ones, but with the heavenly eye, they can be seen clearly. It can be said that even the slightest detail can be seen, and there's nowhere to hide. With the heavenly eye, I can definitely see all the divine runes clearly, and it's very easy to find, repair, or break. Yi Tianyun is shocked. This gift from Yi Qingxian is really big, and very big. Lei Yun probably can't bear to kill her, mainly because of the talent of the heavenly eye. If this talent is involuntarily transferred, the other party can't get it out, but now it's in his hands. Immediately, he put away the heavenly eye, and the scene in front of him returned to normal, but the previous situation was already imprinted in his mind. This is really amazing, but the consumption is not small. He felt a little dizzy. This is something that consumes a lot of spiritual power, and can't be used for a long time. With the help of the heavenly eye, it's even easier to repair, and even the problem can be easily seen, so how can it not be repaired? Previously, he can see the problem through normal observation, but definitely not as detailed as the heavenly eye. This is equivalent to seeing a doctor. Under normal circumstances, with a glance, he can roughly determine what the disease is. But with the heavenly eye, he can even see the cause of the disease, and then prescribe the right medicine, and everything will be fine. No wonder she can become the holy maiden of the spirit tribe. This level is really high. Start repairing it. Let's fix the small spirit gathering formation first. He immediately began to repair, and with the previous observation, after dipping the divine rune brush in the divine wood liquid, he began to draw again. As soon as he started, the whole divine rune brush emitted a faint golden light, and then it aimed at the damaged area and began to repair. In less than a moment, Yi Tianyun repaired it in one go. Ding! Successfully repaired the spirit gathering array, gained 2,000 experience points, elementary divine rune proficiency plus 50 points. Sure enough, after repairing the spirit gathering array, he could also gain proficiency in the divine rune, and even more experience points. This is similar to forging weapons. As long as you do something similar, you can gain experience and proficiency. It's repaired. After the repair, the small spirit gathering array operated at full speed, and the extraction of spiritual power from the outside was several times faster than before. Very good. This is the effect I want. In this way, the cultivation speed of the disciples in the sect can be greatly improved. Tianyun is very satisfied. He wants to slowly cultivate the entire Jade Palace and continue to become stronger. Chapter 168. After Tianyun repaired one of the spirit gathering arrays, he continued to repair the other spirit gathering arrays. Old Xian was a little dumbfounded. He didn't expect his master to be able to repair these spirit gathering arrays, and from the looks of it, he is very familiar with it. Ding! Successfully repaired spirit gathering array, gained 2000 EXP, 50 proficiency. Ding! Tianyun repaired the spirit gathering arrays one by one. In this heavens immersing ancient ruins, most of the spirit gathering arrays are mainly small ones, so that they can draw spirit chi from the ground or the outside, making the spirit chi in the heavens immersing ancient ruins more concentrated. After repairing most of the spirit gathering arrays, the entire heavens immersing ancient ruins instantly increased several times. Everyone can feel this change. Tianyun, are you repairing the spirit gathering arrays? Shi Shuayun couldn't see Tianyun, so she came to find him, but found that he was repairing the spirit gathering arrays. Yes, I plan to repair all the spirit gathering arrays here. Aunt, do you feel that the spirit chi here has become more concentrated? Tianyun smiled. It's obvious, it's much stronger than before. A lot of disciples said so. I thought something was wrong. I didn't expect you to repair the spirit gathering arrays. You can even do this? Shi Shuayun was very shocked. Very good, the small spirit gathering arrays are basically repaired. The next step is to repair the large spirit gathering arrays. Tianyun stood up and said with a smile, I'll go take a look at the large spirit gathering arrays. If I can repair them, I can't say that the spirit chi concentration here will be restored to its peak, but at least 80% or more. Repair is still repair, it's not as good as re-engraving. It's just that the spirit gathering arrays here are already arranged. Erasing them again is undoubtedly a very troublesome thing. The most important thing is overall. Suddenly destroying a spirit gathering array will affect the operation of the other spirit gathering arrays. The best way is to erase all of them, and then draw them all at once, but this is obviously too troublesome. You know too much, don't you? Shi Shuayun's beautiful eyes are full of shock, feeling very incredible. Well, it's always good to know more. Tianyun smiled awkwardly. Don't push yourself too hard. You've already done enough. Shi Shuayun sighed. I'm not forcing myself. Auntie, you're the one who's constantly forcing yourself. I've been watching. Tianyun smiled and said, all right, go do whatever you need to do. I know you have a lot of things to do. Shi Shuayun nodded and smiled. It seems that with you in Jade Palace, it's impossible not to become stronger. Tianyun thought for a moment, then said, that's right, Aunt, I have a suggestion. I wonder if I can mention it. What is it? Let's hear it. Shi Shuayun asked. Actually, it's just to recruit more disciples. I want to divide them into several categories and focus on nurturing different disciples. For example, forging, carving divine rune, and alchemy, so that the entire sect can develop in an all-round way. As for the cultivation method in this area, I can provide it. Tianyun's eyes twinkled. He wants to make Jade Palace truly strong. Truly large sects had all of these categories. For example, Qingxian Mansion has these categories. Each has different types of geniuses, but correspondingly, the cost is a lot more resources. Normal disciples are not as heaven-defying as Tianyun. They need to spend a lot of materials to cultivate, and the number of failures is extremely high. The cost is the consumption of resources. To put it bluntly, if they are too poor, they really can't be cultivated. I actually thought about this. This time we got a lot of resources from Qingxian Mansion. We can really cultivate in this area. Shi Xueyun smiled and said, "Your idea is exactly the same as mine." "That's natural." Yi Tianyun smiled. "That's good, I will go and tell Elder Zhu later, she is very good in this area, she can be said to be first class in arranging disciples." Shi Xueyun smiled and said, "This time you can find a treasure, our Jade Palace just lacks an elder in this area." Yi Tianyun smiled and didn't say anything. Immediately they began to busy themselves. Yi Tianyun came to the large spirit gathering array. Under normal circumstances, it needs to be 4th level to repair this large spirit gathering array. However, he has not reached this level at all, but he wants to try. According to the appraisal eye, the success rate of repairing with his divine rune mastery is not more than 30%. With the help of divine eye, there should be a chance to repair it successfully. Let's try to repair this large spirit gathering array. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, his eyes flashed blue light, and then a large spirit gathering array pattern appeared in front of him. Where is damaged, where is the problem, all appear in his sight. In an instant, he concentrated his energy to the extreme. Relying on divine eye to inscribe divine rune, the success rate has greatly increased from 30% to 80%, this increase in success rate is quite amazing. Immediately he took out divine rune pen and came to the large spirit gathering array, ready to repair it. "Master, are you going to repair this large spirit gathering array?" Although old Xian is not a living being, he knows some things. Those who can repair this thing are at least 4th level divine rune master. Reaching this level at such a young age is amazing. If he knew that Yi Tianyun is equivalent to a 5th level blacksmith, what kind of concept would it be? Yes, there should be no problem. Even if it fails, the impact will not be too big. From the point of view of the effect, it is better to repair the small spirit gathering array. Of course, at present, the failure rate is relatively small. This is the reason why Yi Tianyun dared to try. The degree of damage is serious, the effect is greatly reduced, even worse than the small spirit gathering array. Even if it fails, the effect will continue to weaken, and the impact will not be too big. Following that, Yi Tianyun heavily dropped the divine rune pen, and began to repair the array. This time, the divine eye did not close, but remained open. Under the situation where it is open, one's spiritual energy is unprecedentedly concentrated, greatly increasing the success rate. Very quickly, he completed the repair of the large spirit gathering array. It was very perfect, the difficulty was no different from repairing the small spirit gathering array. Done. Ding. Successfully repaired the large spirit gathering array, obtained 15,000 experience points, proficiency increased by 500. Ding. Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, the beginner divine rune proficiency has leveled up to intermediate divine rune proficiency. In an instant, his proficiency soared by 500 points, this is similar to the feeling of fighting someone of a higher level, exploding out with more proficiency, allowing him to successfully level up. Originally, he was already on the verge of leveling up, but now that he successfully repaired this large spirit gathering array, he easily leveled up to intermediate divine rune proficiency. Now, even without the divine eye, the success rate of the repair was close to perfect. Buzz, the moment the large spirit gathering array was repaired, a breeze swept through the entire heavens immersing ancient ruins, everyone felt a significant increase in spiritual energy. Very good. This is the effect I want. If this continues, in less than half a month, the main mission will be completed. Chapter 169. After Yi Tianyun successfully repaired a large spirit gathering array, he continued to repair other large spirit gathering arrays, but this time he didn't need to keep the heavenly eye open. Reaching the intermediate level of divine rune proficiency, the level of spirit gathering arrays has greatly improved, making it very easy to repair. Then he continued to repair the large spirit gathering arrays. Repairing all the large spirit gathering arrays in the heavens immersing ancient ruins was not difficult at all. As long as the divine runes are within the required range, the success rate is basically 100%, so there is no need to worry about failure. It really worked. Old Xian, who was next to him, was dumbfounded. He really succeeded in repairing the large spirit gathering arrays. It is incredible. After all the spirit gathering arrays were repaired, the overall effect has been greatly improved. The spiritual energy is much stronger than before. There is no need for him to actively absorb the spiritual energy. The surrounding spiritual energy just drilled into him. To put it bluntly, sleeping can improve cultivation. Of course, this is an exaggeration. It is still not as fast as actively cultivating. Compared to the normal spiritual energy in the heavenly boundary continent, before it was just a little bit more. It is really ironic. Under normal circumstances, the spiritual energy in the heavenly boundary continent is only a little bit weaker than the spirit gathering arrays in the heavens immersing ancient ruins, but now it is completely different. It is several levels stronger than the heavenly boundary continent. This is the real cultivation holy land. The previous heavenly boundary continent is not a cultivation holy land. According to this statement, the heavenly boundary continent is the level of holy land. Now I will try to repair the more difficult large spirit gathering arrays, see if I can repair them. If he continues to push, it will be the 5th grade divine rune. This difficulty is even more terrifying. Old Xian next to him was dumbfounded. He couldn't help but say, "You really want to continue to repair? That is the 5th grade divine rune. I will go check the situation first, then make a plan." Yi Tianyun smiled. "Okay, the defensive large spirit gathering array is here." Old Xian came to the gate with Yi Tianyun. The place is full of 5th grade spirit gathering arrays. All of them are defensive large spirit gathering arrays. The large spirit gathering arrays were able to withstand so many attacks before because of these large spirit gathering arrays. 5th grade spirit gathering array. Yi Tianyun looked up and down, checking the large spirit gathering arrays. With the appraisal eye, these large spirit gathering arrays appeared in front of him. The success rate is 10%, 10% success rate? Yi Tianyun was stunned. He had thought that the success rate would be at least 20 to 30%, but it seemed like he had overestimated it. Open the heaven eye. After activating the heavenly eye, the grand formation in front of him was completely exposed. The success rate instantly increased by 20%, reaching the standard of 30%. The success rate was still too low. It was basically no different from failure. Then, he turned off the heavenly eye and shook his head. It seemed like he couldn't repair it for the time being. If the repair failed and caused the formation to be damaged, it would be troublesome. His defense had been greatly reduced. If someone were to attack him, it would undoubtedly be a dangerous matter. Although there were no more enemies now, the problem was still relatively big. Elder E, at this time, the other elders ran over and said in surprise, "The concentration of spiritual energy here has increased a lot. What is going on?" "I've repaired the spirit gathering array here, so it's naturally more effective," Yi Tianyun said casually. This is repaired by you can repair these formations?" They were shocked just like Shi Xuan. To them, this was simply too profound. They didn't understand it at all. According to this, Yi Tianyun not only knows tool forging, but also alchemy, and now he knows divine rune. He is completely omnipotent. How the hell did he cultivate? Even if he started cultivating in his mother's womb, he can't reach the level of omnipotence. "Yes, but there are some that I can't repair." Yi Tianyun looked at their shocked expression and smiled knowingly, "But this is enough. You can cultivate well, your cultivation speed is much faster than before. With the help of medicinal pill, our Jade Palace will definitely be able to greatly increase our strength. Yes, we will definitely become a second-level faction soon." They were all excited. Then they all went to do their own things. Yi Tianyun studied alone and returned to his room to cultivate. But it's not normal cultivation. He started to refine pills and forge tools. He looted a lot of materials from Qing Xian Mansion, so he can refine them well. Divine rune will be put aside for the time being. The materials at hand are too little. Even in Qing Xian Mansion, the materials used by 4th level Divine Rune Master is pitiful. After all, there are too few 4th level Divine Rune Master in Qing Xian Mansion. There are basically no 4th level Divine Rune Master in Qing Xian Mansion. So he can only refine other medicinal pills first, these are more practical. As for improving to advanced Divine Rune Master, this road is still quite long. Unknowingly, half a month has passed. He continued to refine medicinal pills and soul tools, which can give him experience and proficiency. The most important thing is that these can play a great role in making the sect stronger. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for completing the main quest Strengthen Jade Palace, promote Jade Palace to 2nd level faction, Jade Sect. Reward, 1 million EXP, Lottery Roulette Upgrade, 100,000 crazy points. He was stunned at first, and then immediately surprised, he finally completed the main quest. It took him a long time, but he finally completed it. If it weren't for the attack of Qing Xian Mansion, he would have completed the main quest a long time ago. Ding! Successfully accepted the main quest Strengthen Jade Palace, promote Jade Sect to Jade Palace, and transfer it to Heavenly Border Continent. Reward, 100 million EXP, 1 million crazy points, 100,000 proficiency, can be allocated to martial arts and mastery, 100,000 sin points, life *1. Ding! Main quest Step 1, repair all the arrays in heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Reward, 1 million EXP, Divine Rune Mastery increased by 10,000. This main quest can only be repaired by yourself, you can't ask someone to repair it. A new main quest came out, and the reward is extremely brutal, 100 million EXP, 1 million crazy points, and mastery, and so on. It's very simple and brutal. It's much more brutal than giving weapons and so on. Especially the 100,000 sin points, 1 more life, it's really amazing reward. One must know that life is worth hundreds of millions of crazy points in the merchant shop, but now it's a main quest reward. But correspondingly, this difficulty is off the charts, it should be called Jade Palace now, should be called Jade Sect, promoted to Jade Palace. That requires a lot of Spirit Core Realm and a lot of Core Condensation Realm experts, the difficulty is undoubtedly increased a lot. I don't know if I can recruit people. Yi Tianyun thought of a bad idea. If he recruited enough Spirit Core Realm and Core Condensation Realm experts, will he be able to complete this main quest? When he thought about this, he suddenly found that next to the main quest, there is a relatively small line of words, requires more than 200 favorability points. Seeing this, he almost vomited blood. If he wants to reach more than 200 favorability points, the people who directly find him will definitely not have 200 favorability points. Even if he threw a lot of treasures, it's impossible to rise to 200 favorability points so easily. To put it bluntly, to reach this level of favorability, it's already the type of people who are willing to sacrifice their life for him. Can a random strong person reach this level of favorability? Of course not. Chapter 170. The small line of words in the system prompt broke his train of thought. If he went out and paid a price, he could still get some powerhouses to join temporarily. It could be said that becoming a guest or something was equivalent to joining the Heavenly Jade Sect. However, this was meaningless. They would not have 200 favorability points for Yi Tianyun. This favorability was linked to loyalty. The higher the favorability, the higher the loyalty. Would the loyalty of a guest that he hired be high if he spent some soul armaments? Yi Tianyun would not believe it even if he said it, so this wish was dashed. Originally, he wanted to take a shortcut so that he could get hundreds of millions of experience in one go. In an instant, his strength would soar, but it was unlikely. If he went to save a powerhouse and the other party's favorability continued to increase until it reached more than 200, it would naturally be considered as completing the mission. Moreover, the main mission was now divided into stages. There was an additional repair array. He had checked it just now. Without a high proficiency in divine runes, he would probably not be able to repair the array. He clicked on the main mission, and the completion rate was displayed, 70%. This meant that he had only completed 70% of this step, and there was still 30% of the array that had not been repaired. Whatever, let's look at the enhanced version of the lottery wheel first. Tianyun opened the lottery wheel, and immediately two modes popped up. One was the ordinary lottery wheel, and the other was the enhanced lottery wheel. It seems that it is not enhanced under the original premise. Otherwise, the number of lottery chances left before could be used on the enhanced version of the lottery wheel. Immediately, he chose the enhanced version of the lottery wheel. A large wheel appeared in front of him. Looking at the modules on it, there was no difference from the ordinary version of the lottery wheel. Roughly divided into consumption type, skill type, cultivation method type, weapon type, armor type, special item type, and divine skill type. Not to mention that the type did not change, even the size of the module did not change, which meant that the most difficult to get was still the divine skill type. Now, he had a total of 2 free lottery chances. One was obtained from killing the Blood Fiend Patriarch, and the other was obtained from completing the main mission. Previously, the increased number of lottery chances that appeared were several times, or even 10 times. Now, there was only one. Activate Lucky Aura. The 10-fold effect immediately stacked up. Tianyun didn't feel much. It wasn't like crazy mode, which directly increased his strength. After activating it, he shook the lottery roulette again. Suddenly, the large roulette began to spin, and it looked like it was spinning very fast. Godly skill, godly skill, godly skill. Without a doubt, he definitely wanted to get the divine skill first. Soon, the wheel slowly stopped, and the needle finally stopped on the consumption type. What the hell? I'm using the lucky aura. Tianyun was instantly enraged. Even after using the lucky halo, he could only use this consumable item. Wasn't this too much of a scam? Ding dong, a box rolled down and landed in his inventory. He had no idea what was inside. Let's open it and see what's inside. Tianyun felt very helpless. He had spent so much effort to obtain consumables. This was too much of a scam. Ding, successfully obtained 20 times experience card. What? Tianyun's eyes widened. He didn't expect that the box didn't drop a medicinal pill, but a 20 times experience card, which is worth 300,000 crazy points in the merchant shop. Not bad, not bad, this is the enhanced version of the lottery roulette. Tianyun suddenly became excited. He rubbed his palms and shook the roulette again. The needle began to spin crazily. This time, give me a divine skill, give me a divine skill, Tianyun kept praying. The divine skill obtained from the enhanced version of the lottery roulette must be a heaven-defying existence, so he was very eager to get it. After a while, the needle finally stopped. He didn't dare to look at where the needle was pointing. Ding dong, a box fell into the inventory. He didn't know what it was, he only heard the sound. At this time, he slowly opened his eyes and looked at the lottery roulette. After seeing it clearly, his eyes widened. This is a divine skill. Finally, he got a divine skill. He quickly turned off the luck aura and jumped up in excitement. Elder Xian looked at him suspiciously. He didn't know what his master was doing. He had been talking to himself all this while. Old Xian couldn't see the lottery roulette. Of course, he thought that Tianyun was crazy. His hand trembled. He chose the box in the inventory and slowly opened it. Ding! Successfully obtained divine skill, teleport. Teleport to any place within 1 kilometer in an instant. Cooldown time is 10 minutes. The next level requires 1 million crazy points. What? It turned out to be teleport. This is a divine skill for escaping or chasing. The range is also quite good. Yi Tianyun is quite satisfied with this skill. It's just that the cooldown time is a bit long. The distance of 1 kilometer is actually not far for his cultivation. In just a few seconds, he can sprint at a speed of 1 kilometer. But it's very useful for escaping or chasing. Divine skill is a divine skill. It seems that after the upgrade, the effect will be even more amazing. After the upgrade, I can fly freely in this area. Yi Tianyun smiled. This thing can be regarded as a divine skill. 2 chances were used up. When he looked at the enhanced lottery roulette again, he found that 1 lottery roulette costs 500,000 crazy points. He suddenly became silent. Divine skill is not a loss, but 20 times EXP is a big loss. If he bought it in the mall, it would cost 300,000 crazy points at most. But if he bought it here, it would cost 500,000 crazy points. Lottery is lottery. There are gains and losses. It's just gambling. Yi Tianyun shook his head and felt very helpless. He now has more than 1,300,000 crazy points. He can draw twice, but he doesn't dare to gamble. Even with luck aura, he can't easily choose rare things, so he can only put it aside for the time being. Perhaps the effect of the lucky halo had been greatly reduced on the lucky roulette, which was why such a situation had occurred. Forget it, I'll think about it when I have extra crazy points in the future. Or I can complete quests and get the corresponding rewards. This is undoubtedly the most cost-effective way. If I can get 500,000 crazy points back to me, I will be even happier. Yi Tianyun wants the 500,000 crazy point. He can use it to upgrade his other divine skill or bloodline. It's a tangible thing. When he was about to leave, a guard came in from outside of heaven's immersing ancient ruins. When he saw him, he said, "Elder Yi, there are a few people who said they are looking for Zhu Yue. They asked if she is in our heavenly jade sect. Do we have this person here? Looking for Zhu Yue?" Yi Tianyun frowned. He knows Zhu Yue's real name. Except for the elder, no one else knows. It's definitely not the elder who leaked it. There's only one possibility, they followed it. However, it was clear that he had followed some clues and found his way here. He said that Qing Xian Mansion is going to be destroyed. Now that Qing Xian Mansion is destroyed, they will definitely come to inquire about it. He said that to disturb their thoughts. If they really come here, they won't be able to find Zhu Yue. After all, she didn't join Heavenly Jade sect. But now it's different. Zhu Yue has joined Heavenly Jade sect. He has an obligation to help her solve this matter. Chapter 171. Only Deacon Huang and a few attendants are present. Zhu Yuxuan is not here. He doesn't know if she went to other places to inquire. What can I do for you? Yi Tianyun came out and looked at them indifferently. Deacon Huang frowned and looked at a young man coming out. He is a deacon of Star Pavilion, how can a young man come out to greet him? But this is their territory. Deacon Huang can't be angry, he can only smile and said, "Is your elder here?" "I am a deacon of Star Pavilion, I want to ask you something." Yi Tianyun has restored his original face, so they can't recognize him at all. Judging from this question, it was completely a probing question. He wasn't sure that Zhu Yue was here. After all, Zhu Yue is incognito, plus she is usually low-key, so it is difficult to investigate her. Although there is only a difference of 1 word, there are a lot of people with the same name, let alone a difference of 1 word. If there is anything, just ask me, I am an elder here. Yi Tianyun said solemnly. You are an elder here? Deacon Huang was taken aback, such a young man as an elder, is Jade Palace really okay? Yes, what's the problem? Yi Tianyun said indifferently. You are an elder. Are you kidding me? We are from Star Pavilion, do you know where Star Pavilion is? The guard next to him is extremely dissatisfied, he is already very dissatisfied. Who lied to you? He is our elder E. The guard next to them said angrily. They are all stunned, and immediately Deacon Huang reached out and stopped them, motioning his men not to speak. In any case, this is their territory, and they just destroyed Qing Xian Mansion, so they are very confident. These guards are also used to being arrogant, in the face of a first-level force, how can they be humble? Sorry, he looks too young, I don't believe that he is an elder. In that case, do you know Zhu Yue? Deacon Huang politely said, we came from Heavenly Border Continent to look for someone, no other reason. There is no such person in our Jade sect. Yi Tianyun wasn't wrong. Zhu Yue hid her identity. If one didn't know the real situation, they would call her Zi Yue. Since Zhu Yue's sister had warned him not to let her go back, he would not hand it over. Jade sect? Deacon Huang is startled, because everyone knows that it's Jade Palace, and now that it changed its name, it means that the corresponding level has been reached. Under normal circumstances, the name of the sect was decided by the sect itself. It was not a problem if the sect called itself the sect, but if someone came and found out that it was a fake, it would incur the wrath of the sect. Once the news got out, this self-proclaimed force would definitely be spurned. It was even more likely that it would provoke experts to suppress it. In the entire continent, there was no power that could determine the rank of a power. It was the same as naming oneself. You could name whatever you wanted. However, this was much more serious than using the same name and surname. If he was discovered to be a fake, he would be suppressed. However, Deacon Huang quickly recovered and said with a smile, since you're not here, then I won't disturb you. If you have heard of it, please be sure to contact Star Pavilion, we will give you a high reward. For this high reward, of course, Yi Tianyun didn't feel anything, it's better to confiscate the house. When they left, Yi Tianyun just turned around and saw Zhu Yue. Elder Yi, did the people of Star Pavilion come? Zhu Yue's eyes were a little worried, sister, did she come? She didn't come, but that Deacon Huang came. Yi Tianyun looked at her and asked, do you want to go back and have a look? Zhu Yue was silent, she didn't speak, but the worry in her eyes betrayed her. She hasn't seen her sister and relatives for a long time, how can she not worry? No need, we just settled down, there are still a lot of things to do. Zhu Yue shook her head, she still intends to stay in Jade sect. If you want to go back, I will go with you. In fact, I have to go to the Heavenly Boundary Continent in a few days. Yi Tianyun looked at her deeply and said, if you want to go back, I will go with you. If you want to go, let me know. After he said that, he went inside, leaving Zhu Yue standing there alone thinking about something. He definitely has to go out, he still has to complete the main mission, he plans to start from several aspects, first of all, practicing divine rune mastery. After all, he is stuck at the first step, and he can only repair it himself, it's really embarrassing. The first main mission is to repair the entire heavens immersing ancient ruins, he doesn't know why he wants to repair it, he will have to move it to Heavenly Border Continent, no matter how good it is, he can't move it away. The second is to go to Heaven's Top Mansion, Heaven's Top Mansion is in decline, he can merge the two, that is undoubtedly one of the best ways. Old Xian, in addition to the defensive array, what other array is there that hasn't been repaired? The one that needs a divine rune master to repair. Yi Tianyun asked in advance. Yes, there is a flying array that hasn't been repaired, it's too damaged. When the previous owner flew it over, it was already damaged, so it can't continue to fly the heavens immersing ancient ruins. Old Xian said. What, there is a flying array? You mean, this heavens immersing ancient ruins can fly? Yi Tianyun's eyes widen, isn't this equivalent to a flying temple? Yes, but the flying array is very difficult to repair, ordinary divine rune masters can't. Old Xian said, Master can't repair it, so he can only stay here. Over time, the outside was covered with piles of mud. So that's it. Tianyun was silent. He now knows that the system is not randomly arranging this. From the main mission, the real meaning is that even the heavens immersing ancient ruins must be moved there. Directly fly the heavens immersing ancient ruins, so there is no need to rebuild the mansion or anything. They can directly use this heavens immersing ancient ruins. An indestructible fortress that can be moved at will. It is definitely a first-class treasure. It seems that I have to contact Heaven's top mansion even more. This Heaven's immersing ancient ruins is Spirit King Xian Tian's temple, and Spirit King Xian Tian is from Heaven's top mansion. Obviously he has to contact them. Same as before, if he can rope in Heaven's top mansion, it will instantly double the strength of Heavenly Profound Sect. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.